Um,
Yeah.
I don't actually know this role-playing system, so I'm not sure how you want people to introduce their characters and stuff.
Oh, sure. You can introduce your character however you want. I mean, there's more of a formal system, but I'll go over that like when you actually need to do it for the next session.
We
But
were
for this one, you can just
beliefs and such.
So that's just describing my character basically at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, that'll be
Also his
fine.
goals.
Yeah. I mean that's more for the next session because right now we don't really need to know your beliefs. But we have 2 new players this time, so I want them to sort of introduce themselves. And then we will actually begin the real trait vote. So, do either of you want to go first, or?
I mean, I don't mind whoever chooses to go. I mean, I can go now since I'm talking.
You're kind of robot-y, I think, like your sounds.
God damn it! Hold on. I'm gonna move my table. Do the other guy first. I'm gonna move my table and see if I can plug myself in.
All right, cool. So, I guess that leaves you then, Jim.
Like I'm still not sure exactly since I'm not doing the beliefs or whatever about my character. What?
I mean, you could just describe in general like what your concept is, like what you want your character to be about.
Well, since you wouldn't let me play a female dwarf character, she is a human that is basically a lolly character.
Right.
And she's a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
And she owns a blacksmith shop.
Yes. I mean, you're not the only one who owns their own business because Yet's also like a cartographer, so that's not that weird. And you're not the only one who's a loli, so we got.
But that's the basics of her.
There's a little bit of overlap in this group now. It's good. But I like it. I like that now we have this blacksmith character, especially since I think one of the things I established was that kind of like in Ravenloft, they do have these like sunlight weapons. So like eventually we could get up to that point. Like you could start making like super awesome like magic weapons. That would be freaking neato. I'm really excited for trying to explore that later on. But for right now, what?
Professions?
Professions?
Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for Ryan's thing to stop breaking.
Oh, I hope I'm back. Do I
it's a little better now, yeah.
I plugged myself in. After this, there's nothing I can do.
Oh no, you're better than before.
Yeah, my bandwidth can be trashed. I live with 4 other people, so.
Fine. So do I. Well, 3, but.
Yeah.
Details.
So I'm playing Avery LaMarche. He is a noble son of Lord Leo LaMarche. His concept in general, without going too deep into backstory and stuff, because there's a whole spiel. I don't feel like going over all that stuff.
Fine. You don't need to read backstory.
His concept is basically he is there to be the bureaucrat to stop the church from messing with y'all.
Yeah.
His actual point I'll explore in the game, but the concept is basically he is a lawyer. And he is there to represent you guys and kind of do bureaucratic stuff. So, like, if Bartholomew messes with you, you can be like, nah, here's this links of red tape to prevent anything from happening.
Which, at this point, I feel like they need, because there's, like, no barrier between him literally being like, okay, I'm just going to fire all of you and to make sure you're executed permanently.
Yeah,
so
he's basically there. Yeah, he's basically there to act. He's a candle keeper, so he's messenger, that kind of deal. A little bit backstory stuff. He's been a lawyer. He was basically trained to be a lawyer since like the age of like 8. He was a student, then he became an advocate, like officially, and then he got cast out from town, got chased out by a mob, and lived out in the woods for 5 years. With the specifics I'm leaving out for obvious story reasons, because I feel like those are more fun to explore actually in game and talking as Avery versus the kind of overview we're doing here.
Yeah, I think the funny thing about that is it reminds me of what happened with Sigmund, because like Sigmund was exiled for this grand crime that we never actually specified what it is, and it's so secret that no one actually knows like anything about it.
Kicked a baby.
That's a pretty bad one. It's a pretty bad one. Kicking baby.
It could be. We don't know. We don't actually know what happened, so it could be anything.
Yeah. Well, my crime. He'll tell you when he's introduced in game. Because I'm playing a rather straightforward. He's straightforward in a way. He's going to be honest with you guys from the start, at least relatively so. But other than that, yeah, I don't think you wanted me to go through anything like
nothing super
beliefs.
detailed. So
yeah, nothing like skills or beliefs or anything.
Sigmund took my dragons.
They took my dragons. Alrighty, I'll mute myself now. So
all right, cool. So. The two of you who actually, well, three, because Leo wasn't here before, but I filled him in on everything. So the three of you who actually played through the first arc, good job on, well, actually kind of succeeding and making progress for yourselves. You know, the other two, you guys are going to be in for a ride, but for now, I'm going to just enjoy, you know, helping these three sort of build up their characters. So let me go to that section in the book so I can kind of give you an idea of what's going on with this trait vote. So it says specifically, at the end of every campaign or extended adventure, the GM and the players, so this is key, everyone, goes around the table to receive new traits. Players discuss each character who participated in the adventure. Possible traits are suggested for all characters, and after all characters are discussed, the players can vote on the traits suggested for each character. The owning player doesn't vote for his own traits. A unanimous decision grants one trait, call-on trait, and die traits can be awarded.
Who proposes traits? Anyone?
So anyone, yes. Characters can be awarded traits that change their bodies. Scars, limps, missing digits should be added to reflect in-game experiences. They should be awarded character traits according to how the other players perceive their personalities through the course of play. They should not be a punishment, but an honest outward reflection of what's been happening. So I'm going to sort of do that first, and then we'll start voting stuff off, I think. So I would actually like to go around and have everyone. A lot of you already gave me suggestions in advance. So if you guys have no more suggestions to state, then I will. I don't know if Umbry gave me any suggestions for anyone else though, because you didn't actually give me.
I didn't.
But I know that Leo and Silver already gave me their suggestions in advance, so we can skip that section for them. But I'd like you to tell me if you want to suggest any traits for yourself or for the other players to add to either yourself or the other characters that you think reflected how they played.
Wait, I thought it said in the rulebook that you're not allowed to actually.
No, you're not allowed to vote on your own traits, but you can suggest your own.
Oh, your vote on your own.
You can suggest your own, traits for yourself.
Well, for Silver, I'd probably suggest Silver Tongue if it's not already there.
That's true.
It's not.
That would be a good one. I mean, I'm pretty sure, the one she has is already the same kind of thing. Because she already has.
No, I think that was something. What was that? That was charismatic, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You already have something.
Yeah, charismatic works for persuasion, but I think Silver Tongue does the same thing for falsehood.
Okay, you know what? If you want to nominate that, I'm totally fine with that.
Totally nominating that for Silver.
Okay.
I have to pull up the fucking list again because I have to grab it again.
Okay. Okay. So that's for Melanie. Do you want to suggest anything else for Melanie? Because I know the call on for falsehood isn't Silver Tongue, because that one's the story.
Well, the one for falsehood, I think I kept calling Silver Tongue. I don't know the name of it.
It's called The Story. But
That's the one I'm suggesting.
we could rename it. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we can rename it for easy reference.
I was also thinking of her making her like hungry for secrets, so that's similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I see
Because
that.
Finley's more of the lying type, while she's more of the silent.
Right,
silent
yeah.
killer.
I already have your suggestions. I'm asking Umbry now. So, Umbry, did you have any ones that you wanted to add for yourself that you think that you wanted to, that you don't already have? I mean, maybe you aren't supposed to suggest stuff for yourself, but I'd still like to see if you have any suggestions. If not, then I'll move on.
I'm trying to think of stuff I can suggest for myself, but I'm not really familiar with most of the traits.
That's fine. There's a list if you want to look at some stuff, but that would take you a while. It's more like think about character traits that you've exhibited that aren't really on your sheet already. That's sort of the idea, because these are mostly character ones. And then did you want to suggest any of it for Yet, or do you not really? I mean,
Well, I don't know what Yet has to even suggest.
Oh, well, I mean, that's up to you. Like, it's up to how you think what would you use to describe his character was the idea. Because the idea is you're doing this.
For Yet, I'd probably suggest Diligent, because he works hard on map making.
Yeah, okay.
And Diligent, I believe, is the character trait.
Yes, it is. I think he already has that one, though. I have to check.
I do not.
Okay, so that one would definitely be one I'd stick in here.
And for myself, I'd probably suggest Soft Spot or something.
Okay. I don't really like that one as much, but we'll get there. Diligent. Okay, so
Because gotta remember, I am starting to develop a soft spot or working on it.
I don't know. I feel like that's something that we'd have to talk about. I mean, soft spot for what? I mean, maybe if you were more specific.
Probably the opposite of Yet, where instead of hating children, I actually like them.
Okay. No. I like,
Or it could be soft spot for cute things.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of a way to use that with like one word, because I like them to usually be one word. But I like motherly. I can suggest that one for you.
That works.
Me, because I'm the GM. I can suggest stuff, so I will suggest that for you. And then I don't really know about liking cute things. I feel like motherly is more meaningful in this scenario.
Yeah, motherly is more meaningful.
So, I think I'll leave.
Can I ask a question at this point?
Yeah, sure. You can ask a question.
Are you guys using the traits from the actual book, or are you just randomly coming up with different traits?
It's a mix of both, because the traits are meant to be sort of the character traits are meant to just be adjectives, so they can be anything.
Okay, I was just wondering because it has a list of traits in the book and different things that they do. So.
The specific ones are specific, but the character traits can be whatever you can sort of think of.
Okay.
And these are mostly
For example, is one of my character traits I had for a while, but I had a hard time reflecting. I put Tsundere.
Yeah, which was actually really useful towards the end, because you actually did use it against Bartholomew and told him off.
Yeah.
Wait, Silver left. What happened? That's weird. Oh, I can't do a vote now if he's gone. Where'd he go?
Maybe he disconnected.
The reason I was asking because I was looking over the character traits in the book, and there's one called maternal. Which
Oh,
would
is
fit
there?
what you were talking about? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Silver's back. Yeah, Silver disconnected.
Thank you for that. I will use that one instead. I mean, the specific spelling doesn't matter as long as we get the meaning. But yeah, that's a good call on that one. I'll give you brownie points for that.
Y'all.
1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Because my thing likes to be weird to me. For some reason, my computer has this habit where it'll be like, hey, guess what? Your internet connection? Yeah, I'm gonna not register that.
I see. Are you doing all right?
No, I'm fine. I'm just saying it pisses me off because like if you looked at like my desktop or the rest of the computers in this house, they have the connection just fine.
Oh
But
yeah.
my laptop for some reason likes to do this, and it
Yeah.
pisses me off for
Do you
no
always
reason.
put it in the same place?
What, my laptop?
Do you, like always on the same desk or whatever?
Yeah, my desktop my laptop is always like on my coffee table.
Does it work on other tables?
No, yeah, it works everywhere. It's a wire. It's
No, I mean,
you know.
does it have internet problems in other spots of the house?
It's done this to me before. It says to me while I've been over at my desktop, and like I only ever am over two different places. I'm either over by my desktop doing video games or on my laptop, like on the coffee table, which is where I sleep because I sleep on the couch.
So
anyway,
so from here, I think
I'm looking at the list. I'm sorry because I didn't know that additionally that the call-ons and other stuff. I thought it was just character traits.
No, it's mostly character traits. I usually don't allow call-ons until we get like further in.
Okay. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else.
Okay. Well, I mean, Umbri already nominated a call-on for you, and I agree with it. So.
Yeah. I was just looking for something that I was going to nominate for myself, if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
It would have to actually be really relevant, though, because like it'd be more like me agreeing with you and then nominating it for you, but I'd have to like,
Yeah. No, I know.
Look at it.
Why is this?
I'll give you a few minutes. I just don't want to take forever on it because I actually do want to get through the actual vote.
Yeah.
Because we still have to do that.
For some reason it wasn't. Yeah, for some reason it wasn't letting me look at the list.
And then we're gonna do promotions last.
Yeah, here we go. All right, hold on. Oh, there was one that struck out on me.
Okay.
And I think that was cynical.
Cynical? Okay. I think I could see
it was
that with
either
your character.
It was either cynical or diligent.
Okay.
But I don't know.
How about everyone in this campaign is like diligent now, it seems like. Okay, I'll suggest those two for you. I think that's enough.
Okay, that's fine.
Usually you want to only have like
I'm not suggesting anything else, and I already checked them, their character stuff. So it's not a call on or anything.
So let's go with I'm gonna start with Melanie here. So the first thing I wanted to suggest was actually a reputation, because this was something that I noticed was sort of missing on her sheet that I wanted to sort of add as a thing that definitely makes sense in canon. Is that she has a reputation as like the local drunk, which is both positive and negative. I wanted to see if everyone
as we've seen with me drinking out that card.
And by the way,
I'm fine with it.
Silver doesn't get a say in this, so it's all on.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's why I'm just laughing about it.
So it's kind of so you're okay with it. I'm suggesting it, and I wanted to see if Leo was like, yeah, could we officially make her like the town drunk? Because that's kind of the idea that you're muted.
The town's pretty big, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's massive.
Well, not like the only drunk, but like she's known for being
the
a
neighborhood.
drunk. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like it'd be a local.
I included that in my backstory ish, my beliefs. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could also add a third belief. Should I do that now?
Yeah, you have a third belief missing. We could work on that now if you wanted.
I could do it now and like while you're doing the trade.
I could look at it. Yeah, sure. But I'm curious as to so you're okay with that. So I think I'll add that onto your sheet. So let me make a note that we've added that.
Melanie is officially the town drunk.
Well, she's known for being a drunk. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Reputation for being a drunkard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like those rumors would prove false. I did drink that guard under the table.
Yes, and you've also drunk many times before, so
Yes. As was stated when I first met everybody and had a hangover. It was great.
yes.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Okay, so I've added that to your sheet.
Alright.
Next thing. So the silver tongue. So this would be a call on for falsehood.
Falsehood.
So yeah, Umbry suggested that. I'm not so sure, but I want to see what Leo says because it'd be up to him, I think.
For what?
Call on for falsehood. So she would get to reroll
I'm not sure what
failures.
call on.
Falsehood is lying, basically.
Oh, they're traits
it's-
that you
it's
get
like-
to use.
Call-ons,
It's like verbal lying.
call-ons basically
Is it?
break ties, and they also reroll failures depending on which one.
So
you
it's
need
a
to use.
bonus ability for lying.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's for Eloise.
For
Yeah.
Eloise. I mean,
Okay.
considering most of her life is a lie, I don't really see.
Yeah. I think it should be for specifically lies that are concealing information rather than making up information.
Right, exactly. I agree with that. But I'm willing to give that call on if you'll two will accept that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have 2 call-ons. Wonderful. Okay, so I'll stick that in there.
Okay.
Good for you. Call on. So let me mark that on your sheet as well, under the information section. It would go here. So charisma. So it'd be silver.
Did anyone like the song that I put in the group earlier before?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Falsehood.
I've been listening to it for like the last 2 hours.
Okay.
Hey, if I like a song enough, I'll put it on repeat for like 50 times.
Okay, so voted in. So does everyone agree with cynical here for that? For this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking Leo. So Leo.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So cynical. We'll add that. Cynical. Okay. And then diligent. You guys think that she was being diligent in her dealings?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna double check that real quick because I don't like the idea that everyone is just diligent, but I will check the the actual meaning. Showing care or conscientiousness in one's work or duties. I could see that because you were really careful about how you wrote that whole fake document. So I will admit that. So yeah, all of you are very diligent people.
Okay.
Which I guess the two new characters aren't diligent, so that'll be sort of the new things.
Is there traits is the trait voting off like traits that you don't
We're going to do that next.
that don't fit you anymore? Okay, so that's the process. I wasn't sure how
I
that
like
worked.
doing it in that. I like voting in stuff, and then we're going to sort of
Yeah,
vote
okay.
out
I didn't
stuff
know how
after.
it worked. That's why I was asking.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Okay. And then we're going to do one more thing where we're going to give you guys the promotions that you earned from the last sort of
Oh, okay.
thing.
I see what you mean.
So the next thing I suggested, or Leo, I think, suggested that we should do something with like either heavy sleeping or laziness, because you had that one instinct that was like about basically sleeping whenever, and you were like very, sort of not there half the time. Not like out of character, but like in character. So it's one of these things where I'm starting to think like maybe that's an actual character trait.
Well, I know laziness would contradict diligent.
That's true. But
But heavy
you're a heavy
sleeper
sleeper.
seems like it works.
yeah. And I mean that's not me taking a slight against you out of character.
No, I know.
I'm just being serious. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm agreeing that I can see it. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
It comes down to voting.
the two of you because that
You
would
are
actually
sleeping diligently.
because that would that would actually contrast very nicely with Erin because she has early riser and you'd have heavy sleeper. I think that's kind of weird that
It's
you
pretty
two are
funny.
actually kind of different. But like Umbry, what do you think about that? Because you're the one.
It comes down to you and Leo.
No, Leo's the one who suggested it. So
No, okay, then it's you and her.
Aaron is the one who's kind of
Yeah, it
deciding.
makes sense.
Okay, so I'll stick that one in as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
heavy sleeper.
Well, when I get my throat slit because I wasn't able to wake up, in time, then I know how to blame.
Hey, yeah.
I got your back, Silver. Don't worry.
But you
I'll
complain about it.
make a ghost character and hunt the fuck out of all of you.
And then Curious was the last one that he suggested.
That was
he suggested
that was
for
related
me.
to you were hiding your secrets, but asking about Finley.
And Aaron, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, curious definitely makes sense.
Okay. Cool. We will add that in then. Now she doesn't have Atrevicio, which is the one that like forces you to do stuff, which I suggested for Aaron, but it's just more that she has a curiosity. I'm just marking on my notes that we're voting these in so that I have a record. Okay. Next one for Melanie was I suggested that we had this one where cynical kind of covers the other thing I want to do. So the other one I suggested was like grudge, because she has a grudge against the church, and we kind of resolved that belief, sort of. So I wanted to kind of keep that as a trait that she has this grudge
Heck
against
yeah.
the church, like a kind of a violent sort of trait.
Heck yeah.
And it's not like it's a die trait where she gets the extra belief or something like that, like an oath, but like she just has a grudge against the church.
So
Makes sense.
okay.
Would
Yeah.
would you be cool? Does that make sense?
What? It's not. Is it a grudge? I thought she was with the church.
Her family was killed by the church. This whole journey is so that she can infiltrate the church and destroy them from the inside.
Oh, okay,
That's the whole like principle of the character.
okay.
Like the whole point was that Melanie wants to get into the church so that it can be destroyed.
Yeah.
So does that make sense for you? Like why I would make it a trait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay, so we'll vote that one in. Great. Okay, and then the last one that I wanted to suggest to both of you was inviting.
To who?
Like for Melanie, because she would always like invite you guys into conversations. You know, she invited you to drink.
Yeah,
She's very
inviting. Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's something
That's a
she
good
does
one.
constantly. I'm just making
Definitely.
a mark on that one. Okay, so now we're moving on to Aaron.
Oh, that was Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Aaron for inviting.
No.
Oh, I vote no on the.
Oh, you don't
that
think
for
Melanie was
for
very
Melanie
inviting?
the witch.
Oh, okay. Why do you say that?
Because she was closed in terms of
That's
sharing.
true. Yeah, but she invites people around her to do things. That's what I'm pointing out. Like she is guarded, but she invites people to do. You weren't really around the session when she started like getting everybody like
Yeah, okay.
to go to a bar and like do all this stuff. Like she was basically causing all that to happen. I mean, I agree. It kind of contradicts her other trait because she's supposed to be guarded, but she's guarded while also like inviting people around her to do things.
Could I interject a bit? Maybe
Yeah,
you could
sure.
just make her trait be social.
Huh?
Make her trait be social instead of inviting.
Yeah, I
or
guess.
socialite?
I mean, she has that already, so that's kind of the difference. I guess she doesn't need that one. That's a good point. Like, she doesn't really need it because she already has charismatic. She doesn't really need inviting. But I kind of just liked the concept that a big part of her character and a big part of the witches is that they like do a lot of that sort of thing. So I wanted it to be more specific. But yeah, I agree that it's not necessary. I mean, that's why I gave the witches like that charismatic trait instead of just having something more specific. So yeah, I don't think that one. I think that one is too specific, and it doesn't really make sense when we already have a general one. That's true. I should have thought about that. Like, yeah, we already have a general thing for her being charismatic, so we don't need something specific. Now I'm just waiting for Silver to get back because we can't do the rest of the vote without him because we can't do. And now I'm kind of annoyed.
In the loop, out of the loop.
And he keeps cutting in and out, so I don't know what's going on.
His connection's having issues, most likely.
Yeah, it seems like it, but he doesn't normally have issues this bad.
Hello?
Hello.
I officially hit my laptop. Fuck my laptop.
Okay, so we were waiting for you. Are you good?
Sorry. Yeah, I think I had something that I want to say, but I can't fucking remember it. So it doesn't matter. It'll come back to me if it's important.
Okay. So, maternal for Aaron. So this would be between, because I suggested it, so it'd be between Silver and Leo would decide. So you would decide if you think that Aaron is like maternal.
So maternal, as in like, as in like parently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't there. I wasn't there, so I'll by default vote yes.
No, I'm willing to agree with that. So we would do not.
But what about when she cut a kid's leg off?
Yeah, but she didn't kill it. I mean, you didn't see the session where she was trying to like fight for these kids not to be killed, because that was like literally what she did.
Yeah. She did fight along with that with me.
I agree that it shouldn't be a thing that she has yet, because she hasn't actually done anything with these children. Like,
I would say it's something that she's working towards. Then. Yeah, we'll have to see how she actually interacts with the kids.
Yeah, so next arc we'll see. Or next arc.
Yeah, but I'd say that's definitely something that we should put on the list of.
Well, it wasn't so much that I cut the kid's leg off as much as I cut it to where it.
You were like, blasphemy!
Right, see, I was going down lethal, and see, I was cutting it not so much to sever it, but to slow down the kid's movement to count.
Kill a kid, though? Did you legitimately manage to, or I can't
remember?
No,
that was Finley was the one who shot the kid.
Finley was
the one that killed the kid. It wasn't me.
No, none of the other kids got injured. One of them died. The other
Finley's a murderer and a liar.
Finley's the worst out of your whole group, because
his repertoire.
He literally killed a child and left you guys behind.
Yeah.
So, killed a child, left us behind, lied to the church about not having
I didn't kill a child as much as I cut a gash.
You did wound a child, but that's not really as extreme.
You did wound a child, but yeah, but I haven't seen you like motherly just yet in terms of maternal. But there's room for that. Is what I'm saying.
So the next one was Leo suggested patient. So I wanted to see if Silver agreed with that, and then I would put it in.
Patient. I saw her eager at times, like for certain results, but as far as like time, I think she was actually pretty patient and like waiting for me to talk to her and stuff about information she wanted to know. So I could see patient.
Okay.
So I'll just say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll put that one in. We'll see how it goes. I could see that being a good and a bad thing. Okay. So patient. Timid was the other one.
We have to be patient. No, we have to rush in.
Timid was the other one.
Timid.
So I'm curious about that.
I don't know about that anymore. She seems more like she's been brave, actually.
Yeah,
recently.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't know, because she stood up to
So
Bartholomew.
I think, yeah, my vote's on no for this one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's funny because the one session she stood up for herself, you missed it. So
Yeah, I don't
she,
think it's
she
qualified for vote.
basically told him, no, I'm not your, it's like, you don't have to coddle me.
yeah,
I'm old enough to take care of myself.
I loved that. So for Aaron, we also suggested either curious or like familiar face. But I don't really agree with
This is the
familiar
one I
face.
suggest. I can't do anything
So
like this. The reason why I said familiar face was mostly because of the interaction she had with the guard and the fact that they knew who she was.
Oh, well, that's not really a trait. That's more of a reputation.
Then I would have said if she doesn't have reputation, then it would have been
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go to her
Yeah.
reputation then. So let's see if we could give her one.
Yeah, because I didn't know
she
exactly what
doesn't.
it was, but
So-
you see where
So
you see what I was saying.
I'd be willing to give her a reputation
Yeah.
because she kind of has one now. So what would her reputation be? Like Bartholomew's, like, apprentice or whatever?
What was it? Isn't she like what is she to the church?
Well,
Like an
she's
apostate or
She's
what?
like a priestess in training.
Okay, so she's okay, but she has like she's highly regarded by the
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could probably say priestess of the church. So like they know that if you mess with her, it's not good news for you if you're wanting to stay in good standing with the church.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll put it as an affiliation because it's more of an affiliation, but I'll still put it there.
Okay.
Because she would be affiliated with the church, and that would still be basically
Yeah.
the same thing.
I
So-
wasn't sure what to do with that, but you see what I was going with when it came to that interaction.
So, yeah,
before.
I'm
And
assuming
that's what
Leo-
happened last session.
I'm assuming Leo doesn't disagree with that.
True.
Okay, cool. Voted in priestess. Unkeep or Donkeep priestess. Unkeep. So you'd basically be a war priest technically if we were talking about D&D, which would be kind of interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because the Dawn Seeker is actually like a war god. So technically, she'd be like a war priest. And then I think everyone pretty much agreed with Curious, because she had that instinct specifically. So I wanted to give her.
She was constant. She was really curious when it came to like more about me, and beyond that, curious about.
Okay, I think I'll just give her.
She asked me
Curious
over
then.
several times. Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea of straddling her with a die trait, but I like the idea of just making it like a thing.
What trait?
Because there is a trait that's like, oh, if you enter a room, you have to start like screwing around with stuff.
Jesus.
Okay, so I'll add in Curious.
Everybody's a little bit curious.
Put it in. Okay, so for Yet, we'll do the promotions
So-
after.
I'd like a die trait that's for traveling through, like orienteering or something, for traveling through things that I have, places that I have maps of.
I don't really think that you need a trait for
Oh,
that, because
I
normally
not?
if you have a map, you wouldn't need a roll. I'd just be like, no roll. You're
Oh.
good.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you basically be knowing where you're going.
Yeah, if you have a map, like I could just be like, yeah, no roll. Or if you have to roll, I'd give you like a bonus or something.
Like,
But, like-
what would it be like if they had no reading skill?
Like it's the concept of, okay, if you're following a road and you have a map, you're not, there's no roll you need to make. Like you're good.
Yeah.
But if you're like in the middle of a place, because the whole idea was that you were in a place that you haven't mapped, but if you go there again and you have that same map, you wouldn't need to roll to get back there.
Yeah.
But the only issue was that you had to roll to get there, and technically you didn't need to roll to get back. But I made the mistake, and then you decided to roll with it, so we rolled with it.
Oh, I didn't have to roll again. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the idea was the only reason you had to roll is because you didn't have the place mapped. If you did, then yeah, it probably wouldn't be challenging for you. And even if it was, I would make it like pretty easy.
Might I suggest passionate for myself to see if anybody wants to vote for it?
Well, if anyone wants to vote for that, I'd put it up for a vote. I'm not sure about passionate. I feel like I feel like it could work.
Passion is more than a sexual thing. Passion. I show great passion for the church, do I not?
I mean, I want to see what everyone else thinks because that one is kind of interesting.
Nah.
It's kind of iffy with me.
Okay. So no.
Right, that's fine.
So for Yet, this would be with Umbry and Silver would choose. So the traits I had in mind for Yet was that he. Oh, actually, you know what it would be? I just figured out what the word. He'd have pedophobia.
What?
You'd be afraid of children.
Right.
Pedophobia or pedophobia?
Afraid or no? I think it's hate of children.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if there's a one word for that, but I was thinking like you're not actually afraid of children, so it's not pedophobia. But
I mean, you can be homophobic and be like aggressive towards them, but
exactly. No, see, that's what I mean, right? Like that's what I'm trying to. Point out.
Pedophobia.
Sure, that's fine. That's a weird way
you don't
to say
like.
it.
The idea is that you don't like children.
Yes.
So it's like you're pedophobic.
There is actually a word for hate of children. If anybody actually wants to
Oh,
know.
really?
Keep
What's
discussing.
What's
It's called misopedia.
Misopedia. Can you spell that for me so I can type it in?
MISOPEDIA.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see
I have another one that people
Misopedia
can
for Yet.
vote on if they want to.
Okay. Thank you. You get more.
Evasive.
I should seriously just give you brownie points again for that one. That one's good.
Yeah, it is.
I have a character trait that I just saw that I think might fit Melanie.
Okay.
If people want to vote on it. Evasive.
Yeah, evasive could be interesting, but I don't really know if you were. I don't know if you were actively like you were actually because you lied to Bartholomew.
I didn't. Yeah, no, I did lie, and then I also didn't tell. Basically, got everybody else to agree with me, and gave a half truth basically when then she was asking me about why I knew so much about magic.
Yeah, I could agree with evasive. That actually makes sense. So it'd be up to you two then.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will add that in real quick. I'm just adding Misopedia because I like that a lot.
That's a really cool thing, and it rolls off the tongue too.
Guys, voted in, and then I'll add in evasive because I really like that one for Melanie. Yeah, that one is solid. Solid.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, a good grade A trait right there. Like.
Thank you.
Yeah. Evasive. That's really good. I like that one a lot for you.
Yeah, if you look down the entire trait list, you might see something. Like I didn't see that the first time around. But it's through playing Melanie that I figured out that she's evasive.
So we have disillusioned for Yet because he's disillusioned against the
what is that?
Church.
The church. That means I have.
Disillusion means.
I thought that it was awesome, and now I know it sucks.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then does Umbra agree with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm voting that one in. And then Silver suggested dutiful or hardworking or something like that, but I like dutiful as the general idea.
When looking at the list, it says hard work, but I was like, does it mean hard work? Or like hard working or hard worker?
It's literally hard work, like hard labor. So it'd be dutiful, it'd be better.
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant, but I thought it meant hard working, and I saw that Yet was really, doing that. But I think dutiful sums it up a lot better.
Yeah. So what does Umbry think about that one?
Heck yeah.
Okay. So that one I'll vote in. I like that one. And then I don't like him having diligent too. So I like just having him be dutiful and not necessarily diligent.
That works.
Because I feel like there is a line.
Okay, just to be clear, diligent is basically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You could also, if you wanted to be more specific, use sedulous, which is showing continued hard work, effort, or determination.
I like dutiful.
Okay.
Okay. So my
Sorry, I was an
thinking.
English major.
Yeah, it's okay. I am too. I know how it is. I just don't have a dictionary, so it's really weird for me to be like, I had to look it up. I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I'm gonna grab some sweet tea. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Then I will go to. So I have some stuff I want to vote off of Silver real quick. So we'll do that next. And then we'll vote. I have to vote something off of Yet, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do the promotions. And then we should be good to actually do in-character introductions, I think. Because I have a scene in mind. But I'll start the discussion with this so that we can kind of keep things going. So
Yeah, do that without me. I have to run upstairs.
Yeah. So
And
the two
plus,
things,
I don't vote in this anyway.
So the two things I wanted to vote off for Silver was living in fear and pursued, because his character is not necessarily super afraid. That was a cultural trait. And then the other one was that, his character is no longer being pursued by the church because she's now considered like an agent of the church. Yeah. So they're not actively pursuing her. So those two aren't really giving her any points because, the church isn't after her at this point.
You're right. The church isn't after her. She's got a perfect disguise within them.
Right.
Also, she might be in fear of her homeland being taken by the church or whatever.
So you think that she might still be okay? I could see that, but
not
pursuit.
In fear for herself, but no pursuit.
Pursuit, we can agree that one should be voted. So I'll keep living in fear. Stays, and then vote it out.
Instead of that grifter trait belief, I'm going to. For my new belief, I'm going to add something against the church, but I need to know specifically what the church has done to me to word it correctly.
They're basically telling you, okay, your mom is going to, we're moving all your supplies into the church. You don't get to run your own business anymore. They're basically making you into a private, contractor instead of you being able to, run your own business.
You have to work with us or else you're without a home, basically.
Well, no, they're not really. They're basically, taking all of his stuff, and they're like, okay, you work for us now.
And they're holding your mother hostage,
so
too.
It's not like they're actually, taking his property, but they're like, okay, we're going to, take all your stuff and move it, and you're going to come to the church, and you're not going to live in this house. But you can still own the house, and you can live there, but we're gonna move all your maps and stuff. And if you want your mother to live with us, then yeah, she's coming too.
Okay, I will sabotage the
they're holding your mother hostage. They're forcing your mother to live with them.
I think I don't think she would have a problem with it. So if they approach her, because keep in mind, you've been gone for a week, so this has been happening. They've been okay.
They've probably managed to actually suggest it to her.
So she's like, oh yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, okay. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna move all of this stuff. So by the time you got back to your house, they had probably moved all of your things.
So I will sabotage the church out of revenge for what they have done to me.
Another sabotage.
They've given you a better position in life. How dare
Is
you?
it just, is it
I
just they?
I fed
Is it-
them misinformation, and now you're trying to sabotage them too.
I love
So-
this concept of like, oh no, they're trying to get me a better home. How dare they?
So I really wanted to be.
We were there earlier.
So my
Someone's got these on. I couldn't find them. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, you accidentally put them in my stack.
Yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
I was talking to my mom.
No, I was talking to.
Yeah, I'm
to
ready.
Leo.
Can you mute
Yeah.
yourself for just a second?
The church has. I was running a really thriving business, and now it's like
Yeah, now they're
it's like
trying.
communism. Now it just sucks.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, because they are taking away your business, so that's like a thing.
All my friends in the cartography guild. Gosh.
Well, they still exist. Like you could still go to them.
Yeah.
But you have like so are you writing that in or okay, cool. I see it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so how exactly are you going to sabotage the church? Because that's important. Like you need to provide a little more context.
Yeah. Currently, my character is just in the throes of rage, of quiet rage, but eventually he'll start formulating a plan.
Okay, so I think that would be your goal then. I will formulate a plan to, well, this would be in your first slot, not your special slot. You put it in the wrong slot.
Oh, oops. I couldn't click on the 3.
It's okay.
Yeah. I thought that was the only one.
Formulate a plan to get my business back. I guess that's your goal.
Yeah.
I think I would say stealing, because it'd be more specific, stealing my business.
Okay.
Or demolishing. I
Yeah,
guess demolishing
yeah.
my business. Because they basically tore down your, well, they didn't tear down your house.
No, they probably just moved all my
ransacked
stuff
all
out
your
of my
stuff.
house and sold it to somebody.
I don't think they sold your stuff, but they like basically.
No, sold my house.
Oh, I think they might have actually sold your house, but they provide you.
Jesus!
I don't think they would do that because that doesn't like make sense because they wouldn't be like, oh, you have to live in the church now.
They didn't
Sorry
say
for
that, but
popping
they
off
did.
again.
They'd probably like move. They'd probably like move your house, or they'd give you a different set. They'd probably actually. What would be more likely? They would.
Did they
would
just
sell-
renovate the place and move the furniture?
No, they would sell his property, but then give him a new house that's like the same like average
Same
size.
style, but closer.
Yeah, so it's like okay, we took your.
So they're relocating you then.
It's like they relocated your business, but it's no longer, and it's also no longer a business. They basically gave you a workshop.
But that, like, this is both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is that you're probably in a much better place in town.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna be honest with you.
No,
You were in like the fucking what was it? The boondocks, I guess I could say.
Mm-hmm.
A really bad.
But they
place.
still like, regardless of where they moved his house, they would have demolished his business and prevented him from.
Basically, you went from Rancho Cordova to Gold River.
Well, on the downside, now he no longer is making income for himself,
Now the only way of income is through the church.
which is what they do to most people. If you're not like if you're not Ash, basically.
So-
I was gonna bring up Jin's character because she's like specifically working independent from the church, which is her goal. Actually, I like this. I love this concept of now you guys working together, because you could be like, "Oh, you work independently. For how do you do that? I need to figure out your trick so that I can work independently away from the church too." It's a really.
I love how it's like we're all under the same assumption. It's just like, man, fuck the church.
Well, I mean, if that's how you want to, you could have done this whole campaign supporting them, but if you want to break them down, that's totally cool.
I mean, like so far, they've A, wanted to kill off Sigmund. B,
Yes.
have relocated this person and forced them to work with them.
True.
C, have forced Aaron to basically, I want to say force, but it mainly keep a fucking leash on her.
Right, leash, definitely a leash.
And then
They also
D,
you also forgot they were totally willing to execute innocent children.
they were also willing to kill innocent children. They were also they've also kicked me and Finley out of the place, deliberately. But that was our own fault. And then not only that, but I don't know in character who the fuck killed my mother. But they were part of the church. So not only that, but they're responsible for the death of my mother.
Look, we're taking your outs for God. How's that?
My name is Melanie. What was it? Melanie Merle. You killed my mother. Prepare to die.
That's okay. Right.
Just fucking.
No, but I like that. That's a thing. Okay.
Whips out short sword.
So let me get Yet, because I did want to vote off one trait from Yet that I didn't like.
Was it something from his lifestyle?
It was skinny. I really didn't think skinny had anything to do with
I didn't know I had that.
didn't notice it at all. I thought if anything from his picture that he was stocky.
That's why I was like, we need to get rid of this.
I
Like,
forgot that I had that trait.
well, then we should get rid of it because it's not helping you.
Yeah, you're not benefiting from it. I mean, you're not exactly losing anything from it either, but you're just not benefiting from it. If it's better to die off those traits, because those are, if it became like something like you were starved, then I guess skinny would fit.
Oh yeah, because then I'd be like, hey, look, it fits here.
Yeah, because then it would fit, and then it would be like, the reason why you're skinny is because you're starved, and you're probably also a lot out of energy easier than most people.
And I mean,
because of that.
And I mean, cramped hands hasn't really come up, but I want to give you more opportunities to use that because skinny is harder.
What's cramped hands?
That's because I got in my backstory injured by getting attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So do you have what is that exactly? Is it like fucking arthritis in the hands?
Similar, yeah.
It's like my left arm is like weak and.
Okay, yeah. So it's you have a weak arm basically.
Yes.
And yeah, I am doing this because I forgot to do it before. The bishop is technically your ally at this point. Although, well, he actually doesn't hate you.
Oh, what? Oh no.
The bishop actually likes you because you did your job.
I did my job.
I mean, you gave. Well, I mean, yeah. No, but there's a reason why he's kind of more tentative toward you, but he definitely likes Yet. That's why he basically told the church, okay, move him in with us. He's going to work for us.
Hey, well, you know what? Out of character, fuck you too, Bartholomew.
I think the funniest thing is that he almost did too good of a job because they're like, oh wow, he's really good at this. Let's just hire him full time.
Yeah. Gosh.
On an out of character, fuck you too, Bartholomew. I'll just stick in my fucking, barracks. Fuck you.
So, was there a specific person who repossessed my business, or was it just they?
As a whole, because the same kind of people probably marched up to your house in the first place, and then you don't know. Actually, here's the thing. You don't know because
I just arrived and not have a house.
Yeah. Well, they said someone. I'm imagining now is someone else.
If you wanted to find the exact person, you could probably do. Listen, if you wanted to find the exact person, you could probably do a circles roll for that.
And they sent, you could. And they sent you a notice where they're like, oh, you live here now. They moved your address. And then you had to go over to the city. And you're like, well, I don't live here. And then the church people are like, yes, you live here now. Here's all your stuff. Here's your mother. Now go to work.
Here's your relative. Now work for us.
I'm sorry. And your mom's just like, they told me we were moving, so I moved everything.
God damn it, Mom!
Why
do you do these things?
I said to keep the business safe while I was gone. God.
They said they would help. They would help move the chairs. I didn't want to move them, so I told them. Oh, they said they would help.
Come on, Mom.
Great. I got mugged. Oh, that sucks. I'm playing a game. I'm sorry, but yeah.
It's okay.
Upset.
Wow, that is upsetting. Let's see here. Okay, so those are the main things I wanted to do. And then I think no, that was a third because there was another belief that you said you wanted to add here. So, oh, but you didn't get to do that because you weren't here. So, did you still want to do that third belief, or do you want to kind of leave it for do you want to leave it off for a different time?
But the belief is, it was there. What?
Yeah. No, the third one with like you want to confide in Eloise about your father.
Eloise is an admiral. Yeah,
because I was
I
expecting
thought
you
we
to do
did
that.
that in last session when
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's what I was saying was that since you weren't here, you couldn't complete it. So I was wondering if you want to still try for that, this session, or if you'd like to, because we could do that scene right now, and then we could just give you the. I don't mind doing that because that'd be totally fine with me.
Yeah, it'd be fine with me too.
Because you're here, so you could do it with him
So,
or her.
after I've learned, but the evening after I've left, when I learn about the thing, I tried to keep my calm, but then I ended up getting mad, and then I walked to the bar haughtily, and turns out Eloise is there. It's like,
So,
oh man.
Does that mean you would have followed them to like when they find this witch person? Like, would you be involved in
What
this?
witch person?
Well, I mean, we could probably that could be probably a different thing because he probably could have caught us before we left.
So yeah, I don't think Yet would be with you when you're going off.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it's more like he caught us while we were drinking because we never set a definitive time when that happened.
Okay, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I just walk up to the bar.
So I'm pretty much slightly drunk at this moment.
Yeah. Okay. So
All right,
I'm just kind of we're filling in this scene here. So you guys are all at the bar, and so Yet probably wanted to say a lot of stuff to Eloise after the actual So just to kind of frame the scene,
Yeah.
He had a lot of stuff he wanted to say to her during the mission, but since they were focused on getting getting out alive, it didn't really come up. So.
These were the thing in my belief. I didn't specifically want to say it. I just wanted to. That's just like in the belief. It's like that's something that would happen if the opportunity, if the right scene came up.
Right, but I'm assuming that we've already got this sort of thing. We know how Eloise is by this point.
Yes. Okay.
When you already just start talking to her, and these things are just going to kind of happen.
Yeah. Okay. So I sit next to Eloise and have already. I get a drink and then sit next to her.
Yeah, you spot her. She's got like a half drinking. Like I have a fucking half thing of sweet tea right now, but I'm acting like it's beer. But yeah, it's pretty much alcohol. It's a half drinking mug of alcohol at this point. Okay. So she looks over at you and she's like, "Wait, what are you doing over here?"
I've got my drinking horn. the church just took my business without me asking. Now I have to work for them. Ugh. Can you believe that?
So what you're saying is that they fucked you.
Of course. What can you expect otherwise?
I don't know. I mean, I've worked for them for a while. I've just kind of gotten used to them fucking a lot of people over. I mean, I have to apprehend people every day. So everybody's getting something in the city, whether good luck or bad. At least you got a stable job. They're paying you, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you are getting compensated for this.
But
so yes,
I wanted to be independent. I had my own business going. What's with this? They'll pay me enough that I live instead of what's worth my work. Why don't I just do no work?
Because I realized that if Jin is here, because if your character was in this bar and heard that, I feel like you would say something.
Who?
I just realized that. if Ash is like in this bar right now, and someone was saying that like out loud, then you'd probably like notice.
If who was there?
Like Jin's character, the blacksmith, because she's independent.
Okay.
But the bar is also like pretty exclusive at the same time.
It's a Dawn Seekers bar, or those affiliated.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Well,
technically,
it's
you're
probably
affiliated.
Yeah, it lets you get in.
Yeah, it's probably because of the fact that they knew that you were moved.
But I love this concept of like, oh, I was independent, and like I feel like the other independent merchant would probably take notice of that.
Right.
Well, I mean, would they be allowed in, or like would they have enough status to actually get into like a bar like this?
I think they could get in if they wanted to. But I'm just asking if they wanted to be in the scene, because I feel like that would be a cool introduction.
Yeah.
But since they're muted.
Are they listening?
I don't know. It's,
It might be muted.
Yeah, they are muted.
all right. Well,
I'm listening. I'm just muted. Just
No,
we're
not
talking
Ryan.
about you.
I'm talking about the other person.
Oh, the other person. Okay.
yeah. No, I play Avery. So
The
yeah.
one with the cube.
No, Avery will probably come in at some other point, I think. But
You're talking about the
yeah,
person
I was
with the gelatinous cube.
I think I'm still stuck in the woods. So
yeah.
I'll
No,
return to my woods.
Yeah. Okay.
My
No,
log cabin.
you'd be back by now, like by this point. By the time we're doing this, like temporally, you'd be back. But
I don't know if I'd want them to notice me if I was there.
you aren't in the bar.
Yeah, I
we're
figured
talking
as much.
about
I'm
Jamie.
having a long conversation with Bartholomew.
No, we're talking about Jamie.
Yeah, I know. It's just I just wanted to let it be known I'm listening.
So we can keep going, I guess. If he's like AFK or something, we'll just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she notes that you wanted to be independent, and she looks at her and she's like, "I'm gonna be very, 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 very blunt with you right now. If you're not underneath the church's palm, they are probably suspecting you of something.
That's
Everyone
Talking
here.
to me? Or no?
Yeah, no, I'm talking to Yet.
Oh. Okay.
I'm talking to Yet. But yeah, it's like if you're not underneath their palm, they're suspecting you of something.
Are you saying this quietly?
Yeah.
Because this is not something you want to be saying.
No, it's whispering. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's
I'm
like
serious. Like this is like I'm not gonna make you roll, but like if you say anything else, I'm probably gonna make you roll because you're saying some dangerous stuff.
Yeah, no. But that's like all she's basically saying. So she's just like, just be lucky, just be glad that like you're as close as you are. I mean, it's not bad to like live near the church. Yeah.
It's not bad to live.
I mean, I'd rather do
suppose
that
there's
than live
an
on the
upside.
edge of town.
I'd rather live outside, not noticed by the church.
You would, but I mean, to be fair, there's a good thing that comes out of this. You're in the main part of the city, which means you might get more business than you ever got when you're on the outskirts.
I guess so.
More people are going to be able to see your shop, if anything. They might have to get permission or whatever from the church, but I mean, it happens. You're affiliated.
Yeah, I guess that's a hidden upside. I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm. And then the more and more you get popular, the more and more people will come to see your maps.
But the problem. That's the problem. Even if no matter how thriving my business is, the church still will give me the same amount. They'll just give me enough to make me happy.
I mean, you could always complain to them, I guess. But I mean, that's up to you.
I don't want this promotion.
It's your. I mean, I'm talking about. It's your wages, basically. Just tell them you make what you make off of your maps, and that you'll work with them. Either way. I don't know. I've never really had the problem of being independent or not. I've always been a part of the church as far as being a soldier goes. Day in and day out, I do what I'm asked to do, and that's how it goes.
Oh.
And
Well-
that's why I went on that mission, and that's why I'm still alive.
I don't deserve this. I've fought through a lot.
Then don't take it. I mean,
I can't not.
voice your opinions, I guess. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're unsatisfied, I mean, are you just going to be like a dog and take it?
Can't do anything but.
Speak
think,
with the bishop.
It's one of these things where when she mentions the mission, just so that you have like context, you know, you think back immediately to that encounter in the ruins that you had with this creature thing that, you know, was very familiar to you, but no one else really seemed to recognize it but you. But you knew what it was.
Yeah. Oh. The well, I've been through. I can't work in such a
Oh, Jamie's unmuted.
bustling. What?
Jamie's unmuted now, by the way. This is just for knowledge for Nova.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I see it.
I've been
Just gonna
through.
let you know that I'm gotta head out, so I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Bye then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
I guess you won't intervene. All right, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I can't work in such a situation like this. I've been, when I was young, I had a dad.
All right.
I don't know why, but
all right. Hold on, bud. All right, do me a favor. Take your alcohol, and I want you to drink. You're stammering a lot, which means you're nervous. Alcohol while it may get you drunk, also helps relieve stress.
What kind of like physical like action are you like kind of?
I'm like kind of motioning like the actual drink over towards him, and like her head's like tilted and like she's kind of like smiling while she's doing this.
Okay.
Here, take it all.
God, don't make it dirty. Gosh.
You kind of do that. So do you drink or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like when I was young, my family we tried to leave the city, but we were attacked by a terrible whatever that lion thing is that we saw on our mission. I never thought I'd see it again, but I can't.
You mean the shadows that were going after you?
The lion demon you were talking about. Yeah, those. It really scared me. I can't.
You were lucky I pulled you back when that happened.
Yeah, you would remember that he was basically like frozen on the ground, and it was about.
Yeah, I basically pulled him behind me. Yeah.
You moved him, back. And Finley, you had to save him too, but that was a whole other situation.
Finley, I saved basically two people there. I saved him from the shadows that were going to rip him apart, and then I saved Finley from dealing with vampires that almost ripped him not ripped him to shreds. Vampires that would have been very curious as to why he's there. But
I didn't like in character think that I was being saved because I didn't know they were vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you on the other hand, I was saving Finley for the most part. I pulled Finley into like bushes, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh.
It was a different event in that case.
But I'm just giving you context for that event so that you remember what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, no, I remember clearly.
I'm giving you your persona now, by the way, because you did earn it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so she kind of looks you over and she's like, what matters most here is that you're not in that same situation that you were before. At least with whatever that was. You're far away from the ruins, and we have no reason to go back there yet. Hopefully, we don't have to.
But now that the church has me in their grasp, they're gonna send me out there again. I'm gonna. I might
I
see
highly
that
doubt
it
that
might
they'll
attack
send
me.
you out there. If they sent you out there, it would be very curious to me, mainly because
as far
they
as
sent
you're
you
aware,
there.
I mean, because you would have some awareness of this. As far as you're aware, they're basically commissioning you to make maps. You
Wait,
would normally,
I thought
like,
that
as
they
part of
commissioned
as
me
part
to
of
make
your
maps and like go out there and
like
gather the
as
information
part
I
of
need for my
that
map.
was part of what you used to do like independently. But like the only thing they would really expect you to do is literally just make maps and sit in a room and not go anywhere.
Oh.
That's why I expect.
Oh.
That's why she's trying to explain that to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that it was like doing the same thing I've been doing before, where I went
No,
mapped the
they
place,
wouldn't
and then-
risk your life if you're of value to them.
I mean, that's the idea. Like they aren't gonna send you out because unless they give you like combat training, which you don't have, they aren't trying to make you a soldier. They're just saying make
No, I meant
maps.
that like send
Well,
out, like what I
what
just did was go there to map the area.
what they'd probably do is
The original mission.
they'd send someone like Melanie to go get you like data that you could then make a map from, like notes, and then you'd have to like make a map based on what information. So you're literally there because you can make maps, and it's not really it's a rare skill.
I guess maybe I should change my beliefs because Melanie's convinced me.
Yeah. Okay. So what has she convinced you of?
That the church doing this is good. Because when I made that belief, I thought they were drafting me to,
Oh
do
no!
what I
But
thought.
they just still destroyed your business and are preventing you from like.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought.
Okay. Okay. So
It's not a drastic life change.
Okay. So you know what? I think we'll wait for next week, and then we'll revise that between sessions, and we'll figure something else out for your new belief.
Yeah.
But I like that you've sort of advanced him away from that destructive path. That's good. Brownie points for Silver.
The opposite from Silver's characters, from Melanie's goals, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, she has to keep up appearances, and second of all, she'd rather you not die.
Third of all, you're also in a public or sort of
exactly. Yeah. If I said too much, I would be questioned.
I was literally just saying that. Like, if you say any more, I'm gonna make you like.
Yeah, that's why she did it.
For people not to notice, like, because after you started whispering, there are people like you notice there are people listening, so you have to be careful what you say.
Yeah, I figured.
And you're lucky. I could have just. I'm being nice.
I
could have just said no. You're screwed. You've admitted it openly. You're doomed.
Yeah, I figured something like that might happen, which is why I did not want to do that.
But I gave you a warning. Anyway,
yeah, I know
moving
you
on.
did.
Is there anything else you wanted to say as yet, or
No?
can we move on to the next scene?
The conversation dies to a murmur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at that point,
and then the next scene happens where I think would be you would leave the bar, and then they would leave themselves.
Yeah, because we left later than you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're just kind of doing an interlude there. Moving on from that.
Unless you want to watch her drink a soldier under the table.
I'm not sure. He could be there for that scene, but I don't really think it makes a huge difference whether he was or not. So now I think would be the point where you're being the two of you, Aaron and Melanie, you're
Eloise.
inside the church. Eloise, yes, Eloise. You're sort of in the underneath the church, as there's a woman being escorted through tunnels. The guards force her down the tunnel. And then as you sort of are about to give chase, there's sort of a clerk who like taps you on the shoulder. He's like, "Oh, Eloise, Aaron, there you are. The bishop was looking for you."
For me?
For both.
Was it about my report earlier?
Yes, that's he asked me to retrieve you. I was going to check the barracks, and there's sort of the tunnel would connect both buildings, so
Yeah,
it
and
was
at,
sort of
and at this point, she kind of puts her hand on Aaron and like just, you know, she kind of looks to you for a second, like, you know, to keep on what she told you to do earlier before, and then she then looks back at the merchant. She's like, "All right, I should probably get to him
all right.
because I don't want to keep him. I don't want to keep him waiting."
Huh?
All right. So he, just so Leo knows what's going on. The bishop had asked basically everyone who had submitted a report to do like an interview. And I'm pretty sure yours would have already been like conducted, and that's where they would have informed you of your new position.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually going to place on your sheet, assuming nobody disagrees that he should become like an official cartographer. I don't think.
I don't think there's
That's
any.
not. That's not in
rebuttal
question.
here.
So,
Yeah.
It's fine.
So yes, it's official. So I will write that on your sheet. So you would also now an affiliation of Dawn Keep cartographer.
Oh, nice.
I think it would be Dawn Seeker
I
cartographer.
forgot what entomologist means.
Is that a study of bugs, or is it a study of
Entomology?
no something else?
Know what this word?
ENTOMOLOGIST.
I think. Oh no, that's not study of names. That's something else.
I'll look it up. It doesn't matter right now. It's just something that I was trying to remember.
Yeah, it is. It is insect. You're correct.
Oh yeah, it is insects. Okay. Damn, you got it right off the bat.
That was. I feel embarrassed. I didn't.
That was pretty damn impressive.
Brownie points. Everyone gets brownie points except for Aaron, I think. So far, Aaron, you gotta earn those brownies.
For you, by
Let's
the way,
earn your brownies.
I put it in the Google chat if you wanted to look at that.
Put what in?
That's mainly for Nova.
Oh,
Okay.
This is cute. I like this.
That's the new cast for the third game.
Oh my goodness! Thank you. I'll go over this later.
Yeah, it's the third
Which
cast.
game?
That's all their
Danganronpa 3.
abilities and stuff for Danganronpa 3 when it comes out.
I appreciate it, Silvers.
Yeah, no problem.
It's good. It's good. Anyway, moving on from that, I'm putting it on your sheet officially, so you would have earned that. I'm gonna make a note on your sheet as well.
Cool. Entomology.
So that's
man.
what your interview would have been. about.
Entomology is it might be insects, but it might also be the study of the roots of words. That might be entomology?
And yeah, that's like something else. That's what I was thinking of, right? Or like there's a word that means something similar. Study of word meanings.
We're getting sidetracked. Sorry about that.
What was it? No, I'm curious now because I forget what that word is. It is similar. It's entomology, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
So,
entomology is a bug.
Entomology. That's so funny.
Etymology is the words.
Yeah, see, I knew it. Because that's what I was thinking of.
What's this image?
What in the group that I already
ultimate
posted?
entomologist.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Something got
This is the cast for the third game. We should probably get back on track though. Oh,
Yeah,
man, I
I'm very-
didn't mean to derail things. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I like that sort of conversation.
Okay.
It's fine.
Master entomologist. That's so funny.
So wait, so yeah, I'm losing my. Okay, no, so you were being brought in. I just wanted to clarify to Yet what his interview was about, where he came from.
Yeah.
So they had just finished interviewing Yet. He went to the bar. They would have told him basically his new position is X, Y, Z. You know, you have to do this now. Go ahead, get that done. You're now living in this place here. We've moved your property. Your property is still actually around the same size, so it's not like they would have. It's not worse or better. It's just the same. Because I don't want to take that off your sheet. So technically, you have the same level of property. It's just not in the same place.
Yeah.
Anyway. So then they're bringing Melanie in, and so they sit you in sort of assuming you don't resist.
No.
They sit you in sort of a confessional booth.
Okay.
And you are basically, I mean, I'm not going to do a whole dramatic thing, but in broad strokes, they have decided that you have served the church well over the past years. You've proved yourself as a competent guardswoman. Dawn seeker is the word they'd use. So
yes.
Gender doesn't really matter. You're a competent dawn seeker. You proved yourself on this mission, and they see it fit to reward you for doing so. So they are allowing you to choose your post within the barracks, which means that you can choose to become like a captain or a vice captain, or as such, like you can choose your new position. You could also suggest to be put into a particular position. So you get to basically essentially choose what you're being promoted to.
Right. Okay.
But
and
you
like
just
I
can't-
asked them if they're sure about that, like if that's okay, because like she seems like really.
I mean, that's not being.
She
put
seems
into
like
question.
to be a little bit modest on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't tell you this if they weren't sure. So they're basically saying, well, you're promoted, so you tell us like what position you'd want to take, and then we'll give it to you, basically.
Okay.
And then they'll deliberate on it.
What are the positions actually?
I mean, that would be sort of like between you and me to decide. Like, you would just tell me, okay, well, I want her to be now doing X. Because you could say, I want to apply for this position, and then that's would be what you'd become then.
Okay.
Because you could offer, like, let's say if you want to sabotage their intelligence, you'd be like, I want to join your intelligence division. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. I was like, or if you say, okay, I want to screw with the military, then make me like a captain or a vice captain or something of the Dawn Seekers, and then I can do that. It's dependent on what Melanie would actually like want for her.
Gauging by like what I have already and what she's already done, I think you are correct that she would ask to be applied to the to a high position in the intelligence division.
All right.
Because that seems like her forte out of character.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already proven that she's capable of doing that in character when we've done the assessments already.
So they're going to provide you with someone to study under.
Okay.
And that person will then refer you to his unit, and then they'll decide if you're worthy or not. But you'll have to spend some time with this person, and they'll be in charge of you for the next week or so, and they'll determine if you're ready to join the
intelligence division. Yeah.
They're called the Candle Keepers.
Okay. Oh, that's so amusing.
he sort of gives you a file on this man. He seems to be like of noble birth, which is very strange to you.
Oh, is this the other character that we have in here? Out of character?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So now you're working with Avery, and he's going to be assigned with evaluating you for acceptance into this organization, which will be very interesting indeed. I think.
Character interaction. Hooray!
A good way to sort of get you together. So you aren't being promoted yet, but it's going. It's a pending.
Yeah. It's a pending situation.
So I'm going to make a note of that in my notes. But that's essentially what they ask you to like he's here now, so you can meet with him.
Right. Okay. Well, judging by that, and like she assumes that that in this case, like if she left early, it would kind of look off. So she stays there in this case, to meet the man. She assumes that that Umbree's, I can't remember. Oh, Erin will be able to handle herself.
You can assume that, yes.
Yeah, which is why she's waiting to meet this man at this point. So she's gonna stay, she's gonna stay there or go wherever they want her to go. She's just basically looking over the file.
I mean, you'd be given to like he would be staying in his quarters, and you'd be given like the where
directions.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna head that way while she's looking over the stuff about him, because it's easy. It's easier for her to look at this kind of stuff while she's on her way there.
Here's his character sheet. No, I'm kidding.
Here's his character sheet. Well, so much lovely information.
Oh no, not my secrets. No.
The character
All
sheets
your
are
secrets are mine.
the character sheets are public, so you are free to look through it if you wish.
Oh yeah. Some of the stuff, like
we well, on an OOC level, we have to everybody knows the updates that the characters are given, so it's not like it's a surprise.
Yeah.
But it's just like in an in-character level, it's different kinds of information. So I probably only know about as much about you as this in the folder. So that means that only as much as the actual church has on you.
Yeah.
Basically, ignore the very last paragraph of my bio. Just ignore that one.
That
Don't
never
pay
happened.
Don't pay attention to secret wives or dalliances with witch circles. Ignore that. And
see, you say secret lives or whatever, but then I hear secret wives, and I'm just like,
that's what it is. I said that. It's a secret wife.
No. And then I hear witch circles, and I'm just like, this character's going to be interesting to interact with my witch.
The witch?
Where? I built that whole last part of his life based around interactions with your character. So yeah.
Oh my god!
I saw Melanie. I saw Witch. I'm like, fuck yes. Why not?
You see how this is going to go now? Hello, I am Melanie. I am secretly a witch. Oh, you're working under me, and they didn't know. Oh, you're
a witch. Do you know about these witches in the hills, man? They're called the Burite witches. I'm married to one of them. Just heads up.
I'm from there. That's my homeland.
You know my wife. Oh my god.
Did they kill her? That might be my mother.
No, don't worry about that. I'm not that old. I'm 25.
Okay.
You're older than me.
You might have been my father.
Unless I'm a time traveler.
That would raise some interesting questions. My mother used a ritual to go back in time and or go forward in time. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, shenanigans aside, as much as this is funny, she's probably going to enter your office at this point.
I do like that you actually meet her first, because this is sort of a really cool interaction that I like.
Yeah, so she's basically opening up the door, and like it creaks to the side.
And
she's like, "Hello."
You see, like, basically a 5'8", like, normal sized dude.
I can't remember how tall Melanie is. You might actually be shorter than her.
He's like a normal sized dude. He's sitting at a desk. He's got like a light brown hair. He's got a scar over his left eye and over his nose. They look kind of deep. They look like they've been healed, but not properly. That's why they're scarring up so bad. Otherwise, he kind of looks like he would have been handsome if not for the scars. He is wearing a jerkin that has it has a red shield with a black lion emblazoned on it.
Oh, great!
With a black lion with red eyes and gold teeth.
Nice.
And he's kind of just chilling. He's flipping through paperwork and he's sipping on a mug.
So the first thing that you notice is this woman like entering your room, and she has a very particular look about her. She's got raven black hair. You know, her styling is like really sleek, even though she's wearing the Dawnseeker's outfit. It seems that she's well kempt.
Which I'll kind of give you an idea of what it would look like, because I have a sort of a reference for that.
Yeah,
but you can keep talking. You can keep talking.
So she closes the door behind her at this point, and then she basically drops your file onto onto whatever table that you're next to, or if there's a table in the room. And so she looks at you. She's like, "All right, so I'm Eloise Dawnseeker, and I'm going to be working under you for a while."
Dawnbird, but you could say
Dawnbird. Sorry, Dawnbird.
I used to be a Dawnseeker, but now I'm...
Yeah, I used to be a Dawnseeker, but now I'm pending approval, depending on your opinion, it seems, of whether or not I'll be able to join the candleholder. What was it? Candleholders?
Candlekeepers.
Candlekeepers. But keep in mind, that you have already been told secretly by the bishop to watch over this person.
Oh yeah, I know.
So this is like a thing where they've assigned you to me, have they? I see. Well, that's
Well, you'd think I would say that, but then I
Right.
just tossed down her file on top of mine. So, hello, Eloise. I've been keeping an eye on you.
And she narrows her eyes almost immediately at the moment that she sees your fucking pin. And
It's not a pin, it's a full fucking flag on his chest, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whatever the fuck it is. She just like leans in. She's like, I've seen that lion before. And she just looks immediately up to you and she's like, are you part of its cult?
Oh, what? No. Oh, gee. Oh,
Of course
God,
not.
no. Cults? No, not my dick.
She
sweetheart.
narrows her eyes again. She goes like, it's a particular faith, it seems. And I'm not going to judge you. I'm just curious. I want to know more about it.
Worshipping demons is not my forte. I'm a candle keeper through and through. And you can
You'd
tell
say
because I'm just not going to bullshit you. He's not lying to you. You can distrust him all you want. He's being completely open. He's got the body language of like, if you wanted to stab me for who I am, do it.
Yeah,
I got time.
She still narrows her eyes for a moment, but then she's just like, all right, fine. I guess I trust you. If you do learn anything about it, though, I'm still vehemently curious.
I am very curious that there's a cult based around the sigil of my shame, but I mean, sure.
Your shame?
Did you not read the fine print down at the bottom, the whole exile thing? Oh, this is just an inversion of the yellow lion of my family. That's all.
Yeah.
Avery LaMarche, by the way, and he finally sits up.
Yeah, no. And she opens back your file for a second, looks at the bottom, just like, why the fuck do they always put it in small ass print? And she just like closes it again, and she's like, this is, they go about things so in a roundabout way.
Trust me, if you wanted to, I've had to copy these types of documents before.
Are you serious? They made you copy it?
They've made me copy these kinds of things before when I was a legal advocate down in the city.
I came from the barracks, and I have never had to deal with this small kind of finely written print.
Let me tell you, I'm very surprised you can read it all. So I'm just happy you can do that.
Right, I'll have you know.
No, I'm happy for that. I don't think
you.
you realize the kind of morons that they'll send to us occasionally, especially Dawn Seekers. No.
Well, I mean, you should know I've dealt with people who couldn't even read, more or less write their name. So, yeah, I just had to go by whatever the church decided to call them. I mean, I would call them blundering fuckwits, but that's just me.
So
usually I ignore Dawn Seekers for the thrill of watching their anger.
How well they're getting along.
So just as an aside, I did post a little picture of what her armor might be similar to looking like. We had this concept.
Oh yeah, I gave you that. Yeah.
I used.
Dope. Oh no, Leo dropped. Oh no. Oh well.
Oh no.
Anyway, Eloise.
For a moment, we can get back to that. Get back to Leon. All right,
do you know a good place to drink around here?
I mean, there's the bar that I frequent all the time. It's open to anyone.
It's not a good bar.
Well, it's not a good bar, but I mean, it's decent.
Do they have liquor?
Yes.
I'm not talking about ale, and he kind of points lazily to his cup, and he's like, can't stand this shit myself.
She leans close to you, and she's just like, if you want good liquor, I've got some whiskey, if that works for you.
Whiskey works.
She just basically...
and he kind of leans back and goes, that is a violation of code, blah, 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 of the candle keepers.
But then she also looks to you, she's like, and yet you had a mug of alcohol already.
Yeah, I know. I'm running a very tight ship, as you can see.
Oh, yeah, definitely tight. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
now, do you want the whiskey? Do you want the whiskey or not?
Yeah, I do. I'm requisitioning it from you. Bring it here so we can drink it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Let's share the shit.
I love this. I love that we cut from this moment too. So we cut. I want to cut off of that for a second.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we cut from that. So Aaron, what are you doing? Because you're underneath the church at the moment. You're underneath in these tunnels. The bishop is going to be looking for you any moment.
I'm going to head to the bishop ASAP. Don't want to disappoint him.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you also got to save the woman.
I need you to help me save the woman, but first
I mean, you you could basically stand up for the woman and say that she's not guilty. But you could probably do that already.
So, like, are you going to? So what?
Same room, most likely.
So what are you more loyal to here? Because here's a really good internal conflict. Are you going to leave this?
You
woman
saw
who
how
you
panicked she
know
was.
behind, or are you
Well,
going to
I'm gonna
visit?
try and find a way to save the woman without betraying the church.
Okay.
So are you going to make an
Um,
appeal at this case then?
Yeah, so
See,
make
because-
a deal. Saving
because I
which
will-
has
I will point out
which
that
has valuable intelligence we can use if we offer her in exchange we spare her life.
I think the principle here is that you did put that as your belief, that you wanted
Yeah.
to save her, and you have nothing here that says that you have to listen to what the church says necessarily. You're not obedient.
What I'm going to
you know.
propose is the witch has valuable information.
Well, they don't know that she's like they I don't know if they have definitive proof if she's a witch or not.
No, they said which.
Yeah, but do they have proof on it, or is it just an accusation? You never specify.
As far as you know, it could be an accusation, or it could be.
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
you know, because you know that she's an
I
actual
know
witch.
that she's
but
actually.
Aaron does
I'm
not.
saying, yeah,
Aaron,
it could just be an accusation.
Aaron
So,
might
I
believe it.
don't know if she's a witch, but I'm like, if she is a witch, she probably has valuable information
Even if
that
she was
requires
a
us to spare her life.
even if she wasn't a witch, she might have information they don't want her to have anyway.
Well, that information could be useful to the church.
You know, regardless, just because she isn't a witch doesn't mean she doesn't have information you might want to know.
Hey, I'd be like, how about we make a deal with her? We spare her life. In exchange, she gives us the information we seek.
What are you like propositioning this to the people who are like escorting her to be killed?
Or the people, yeah.
I'm going to proposition this to Bishop Bartholomew when she's in a room with him about to be trialed.
Okay, so are you going to actually allow him to like give you a position, or are you just going to be like, I don't want your job, I want to make sure we save this
I'll
person?
actually accept the position.
Okay, well, what position are you going to accept?
What are the valid priestly positions?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure you'd probably just become like a nun or something.
Isn't there things like high priestess or something?
I mean, she would just become a priestess like officially, but I think we've already done that. So yeah, that would just be your
I was
thing.
saying a high priestess is the one that's
Well,
above the other priestesses.
She was already she was in training, so now they would just make her, okay, you're a priestess, like straight up.
All right.
Yeah.
What I did was I
took
took that trait where you were originally just drafted, and now I've turned them into like affiliations that you have.
Yeah. She'd be officially a priestess with a little more say than before.
Yeah, exactly. Now you have like official, you have official sort of like pull in the city.
Yeah.
Like you'd be directly underneath him instead of being his apprentice. Like you'd actually be like a priestess.
Yeah, directly underneath.
You
her.
have some say in the matter. Yeah.
And he's like a bishop, but you're like I'm not really 100% on
Is the
the
bishop below
hierarchy.
like the priestess, or is it like?
No, he would be above her, but like she now actually has a solid position. Like
Yeah. Okay.
you have like effectively like a 2-die, affiliation. So you have a really strong sort of hold within the community now at this point.
Yeah.
So you accept that, promotion immediately. But then are you going to argue to Bartholomew about this? He is going to fight you, so I want you to be prepared for that. So I'm probably going to have that be the thing we do to wrap this up. Is going to be you're going to argue for her life.
And I'm going to argue for her, and I'm going to try and make sure Silver can help me when she shows up. I mean, Eloise.
Yeah, I'm probably going to show up here in a second.
Eloise
I
isn't
don't
there
think I'm
because
gonna stay there for long.
Eloise can't help you. You're alone.
Well, I mean, when the trial starts.
The trial of who? The witch trial?
Yeah.
I mean, the principle is that you're being interviewed like personally, so there's nobody else here besides you and him. and maybe like a few other like people, but they're not really in support of him directly. Like he's interviewing you personally, and now you're subjecting him to this, and he is strongly against what you're
no,
suggesting.
the Dawn Seekers were founded on recovering the sun at any cost, and this
Okay,
particular
so give me a
woman,
second because we have to
she
set this
may
up.
have valuable information pertaining to locations of the fragments of the sun.
I'm gonna straight up say that this is like a duel of wits here because you're gonna have to argue to save her life, and this is going to be a big
Remember
deal.
your
Yeah, I'm
persona
gonna
if it gets
I'm gonna
down to
But-
fire.
But I want
I'm
you
gonna
to.
do
I want you to.
persuasion, but I'm gonna fork in doctrine and history.
Well,
You have to wait. Let him finish.
This is going to be more complicated. We're going to do a full conflict, and keep in
Right.
mind that if you fail this, if you can't compromise with him, then essentially you won't be able to pursue legally like any sort of compromise, because she's going to be considered a criminal and she's going to be killed. And so unless you do something like physically, you won't be able to defend her like any further with like rhetoric or any such.
And remember, you're not loyally bound, I think, by any beliefs or anything. If it does come down to that.
Well, she has a belief.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna fork in doctrine
Well,
and
yeah, let him
history.
tell you what you have to do first.
I didn't, because we're doing a duel of wits. So first you have to figure out
different
your
rules,
body of argument. Yeah.
Body of argument. It's gonna be mostly she has valuable information. The church is
Right.
founded upon finding this information, and
Oh,
it's better we spare her in exchange for receiving this information
Okay.
than killing her and
So-
letting it go to
So
waste.
if you could write that for me, so I have it in writing, I'd love that, please. Because I need it in writing, and then I'm going to do his counter statement to your statement once I have yours statement, because he has his own statement. But I like that I am giving you a scene because I wanted you to have a scene. This is a pretty big scene. You're gonna fight your boss to not have her be killed. I like how important this is. This is good. This is very good. So yeah, when you're done with that, let me know. I'm gonna actually start typing his statement because I can do that on my own. Once I get his, because I know how he feels about this. Because I have his beliefs as well. Oh, this is really interesting, actually, because I will say this. He does agree with you. He says, at any cost, but those outside the city are corrupted. They must be burned. So he is actually struggling because he agrees with you, but also can't agree with you entirely. So you do have leverage over him. I will give you some bonus dice because he actually does agree with you partially. That's good. That's good for you. Okay. I'm definitely giving you a bonus die for your argument because you, but keep in mind that she will be burned if you do not succeed. Like they're going to try to burn her at the stake, and there's nothing you can do about it if you fail, unless you like physically take action. But I like that. I'm just waiting. So I'm going to write his statement. So his statement is, the witch is corrupt and must burned. Against the church, yeah. So he actually doesn't have as strong of a point, but he's like convicted. That's sort of his statement, is that obviously it's not as strong as yours, but he has his own, thing that.
Dinner's on the table.
Are we still talking to Melly? No, this is between Aaron and Bartholomew. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, so you're using persuasion, you said, right?
Right, persuasion, and I'm forking in doctrine and history, basically.
Okay, well, let me see. Once you skill test made, may add successes from the will exponent. The total is the body of our, and you're forking in. What did you say?
History and doctrine.
So how is history? How is history supposed to be helping you here?
Because the church was founded upon recovering the sun.
Okay, and how exactly is doctrine helping you if the doctrine says that she should be burned?
Well, the doctrine also says the sun must be recovered at any cost.
Yeah, I don't. Those forks don't help you here because they would only help you if you were arguing for her to be killed. The doctrine supports his statement. That's what you're fighting against. That's my point. The doctrine is saying she should be killed, and you're
I'm not
arguing
saying
against
she should
the
be
doctrine.
killed. I'm saying she has information that is highly important.
Right, but the doctrine would state that she should be killed. So
So no on the doctrine.
Yeah,
But
the
would
doctrine
history
can help
apply?
you. History, I don't think history helps you in that context, so I don't want to give you history for that. But you can roll your persuasion, and
Can I spend some? How many persona can I spend on it?
well, how much persona do you have?
I have
'Cause you can
3
spend
remaining.
you can spend up to 2 on any roll, I think.
Yeah, up to 2. So what's the modifier?
The modifier for this would be 0, and the obstacle is 1 because it's graduated. So
I'm gonna spend 2 persona. But it's
okay,
base obstacle 1.
yeah, you put that in Artha.
Yeah, I marked it as Artha.
Okay, cool. And then you'd have
Wait,
to.
don't roll it. Can you hear me?
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what were you gonna suggest?
Don't. Whew. You forgot that she gets an additional die because she has an advantage.
I forgot
Yes,
that.
that's correct. So you can just roll.
I was
die
up in the
here.
bathroom and I was like,
Yeah,
oh
you can.
God, they're about to roll this without the advantage.
You can roll. You can roll another die for that too.
Oh my God.
Just roll an extra
I
die.
ran down here. Oh.
Okay, so that does
Did I
not.
get any
Don't
6s
forget-
or no?
Don't forget if you get
Yes, you got 1 6.
I'll spend a fate.
Okay, let me mark that first before you spend it. Okay, you're good to go. You also got routine. So, you know what that means?
My persuasion goes up.
So now your persuasion went up to 3. So I'm gonna mark that on my notes.
Does that mean she gets an extra die to roll or no?
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you an extra die for this, just because. I probably would have given you 2 dice just because of the beliefs thing. I don't mind giving you another
Alright,
extra
so that's
die.
3 successes.
So is that
3 successes.
okay?
Okay. This is just to determine her strength of the argument. Aaron's persuasion increased from 2. I'm gonna
down here quick enough.
check the rule on that later, but it basically says that if you do get enough, then you do will just increase it in place. So I will give you that one. Just making a note that you did it, so I'm just doing that. Challenging. I'm just making a note in case I need to reverse it later. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to, because I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they increase in play, and I will give you that extra die because of me being, easy on you. So that's 3 successes. You add that to your will. Your will is 4. So you have your body of argument is 7.
7.
It's pretty strong. Okay. So he is going to basically do the same thing. So he is going to roll his. He is going to use doctrine in his support, because he has no real logical support. He's basically just using, or at
Shit
least
that pre-exists.
yeah. So he's not trying to be like, hey, let's rock the boat and let this woman live. He's saying, hey, well, we must kill her. That's the way. You can't. So let's see. I think he's going to use suasion. Yes. Suasion. Body of argument. Note the total. And many successes require course, persuasion, interrogation, oratory, persuasion, rhetoric, or stertorous debate. Okay, so no, maybe he has to also use persuasion. I have to check what he has. I think honestly he's probably going to use something like intimidate here, because he's not
But would he really use intimidate against the person that he cares about?
That's a good point. But he has
Or would
to
he only
use.
use persuasion?
He has to use
Because
persuasion
he
here
could
because
frighten her, which is bad.
yeah. Well, in this case, it's not late. So does he
Oh,
not
it's
have
good for him, but it's like it's
Let me
bad
see.
if he frightens her. I mean, that could cause her to not like him more.
Read religious history, religious. Is this religious ritual? Huh. So he doesn't have anything he can use to argue against you here. I thought he had suasion, but apparently suasion does not count for this. I'm just double checking the rules here because it seems like he's going to be at a huge disadvantage. Yes, it seems like he is going to be at a huge disadvantage here. He's way better at speaking to crowds than he is at speaking to you personally. So you've got him alone. He might crack. Silver's got a good point.
Okay, so that's what he is. I remember now. He's got auditory stuff
Yeah. So he's actually really bad at talking to you. He's horrible at talking to you one-on-one. So you've got him in our corner. I like this. So I'm going to roll. He's going to use basically will untrained, and then that's going to be if you don't have a skill, use will. 2 successes is 1 point. So he's going to do that. But he has a belief that supports him, so I'm going to give him an extra die as a modifier. But he can't. He's not using. Well, would he use Artha on this? I guess you used Artha. He doesn't have any persona left, so he can't use Artha. Okay. So he can't use Artha. That's not an option for him. Okay, so I'm gonna roll it. He gets 6 dice basically. 1 modifier 1. Artha 0. Base obstacle is it's 2 for him. So let's see if he even gets 1.
He only gets 1.
Yeah. So he gets only 1 body of argument.
And that applies onto his will, doesn't it?
Yeah. So he gets 6.
Okay.
So you have the advantage in this situation. But
that doesn't mean you'll win.
No, it doesn't mean you'll win at all. So now what we do is you're going to decide. I would do this the more complicated way. So why don't we do that? Yes. So essentially you have like basically 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get you the actual chart so you can see what actions you can perform, because there are a set of actions that you can do here. So you don't necessarily just need to make up a straight point. You basically are going to choose. I'm going to do it one by one because I usually don't like doing the revealing. So we'll do it that way. Of which I think I have it on my thing. So I could just screen share it with you. I'm not sure if you could see it. Dual of Wix. Chart. Let's see. If not, you can actually find it in the book if you go to 392 if you have the book available. Not sure if you do. You should be able to see it there. That might help you. But I can also give you the actual listing of options. So I think I'll type them in the chat because that would help you as well. So let me do it that way. You can't cast any magic, so we don't need to worry about that. So we have point, dismiss. He can cast magic though, so he might. avoid obfuscate, which is like lying.
So what would be the honest way of talking him into it?
Probably like it depends on, you don't know what he's going to do at first, so you have to kind of guess it, because he might be trying to, avoid the topic, and then that would change how what you're doing affects him. Those are your options. A basic
Well,
point.
I'm gonna try and keep him on topic.
Okay. So in this case, you don't know what he's choosing, but I've sort of already decided what he's going to choose. So you have to choose your action. So a point would be just a basic point. Dismiss is like basically yelling at him.
I'm gonna
and
do a
getting
point,
him to
like
get him out.
I'm gonna do a point.
Okay, so point. He's going to
We
avoid
need her information. She could do
So
this
it's going to
information
be-
could be what we truly need to recover the sun. We
I
won't know
see.
unless we ask.
That's actually a really good point. I like your point. That's good.
It's a point.
So essentially, yeah, you would role play it out first, and then we'd roll. So in this case, he's trying to say, no, that is not important. What matters is that she is a witch, and that she must be burned. And he's basically like avoiding the whole concept of like, oh, she has information.
I bet he has evasive.
He's just being like, no, that is not important. What the scripture says, it must be held to. She must be burned.
Bartholomew is officially character trait evasive.
He's not. Well, he's avoiding the point because he doesn't want to admit
The
that
sun
she's
must be
ignorant.
recovered at
He's
any
ignorant.
cost, even if we have to work with heretics.
Give me a second. Well, that would be your next point. So that your first point is like, no, we need to do X. So I'm just looking up where the point is. It would be under P. Okay, so you're using persuasion, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that in a versus
Do I
test.
add anything for advantage?
So what I'm going to do
Give
is
him a second to
is-
explain.
I have to actually roll his will because that's going to determine your difficulty. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that first. Because he's going to basically try to stonewall you and be like, no, you're wrong, you see?
So
And
do
he
what
only
you got,
gets
no?
half the successes, right?
In this case, no. It's just a straight up will test.
But the same applies to you too.
Yeah. So let me roll
Just
this.
let him roll that first, yeah.
Because this sets your difficulty. It's not like he's just avoiding that. He's like, no, that's not important. But you're like, no, it is. But he's like saying, no, you don't understand. This is not how things will go. Where's okay, so 0. Base obstacle. Well, the base obstacle doesn't matter. Okay, so that's 4, and then he has fate, so he'll spend it because he wants to make sure that she is killed. He won't hear any of this nonsense. Well, that doesn't help him, but he tries. So that your obstacle is set at 4. This reduces the effectiveness of void. Never suffers a double. Yeah, it says specifically it never suffers a double obstacle. For the penalty Silver was talking about, it does specify that. So now you.
So what do I roll?
I was talking about what?
In a versus test, subtract. No, you were saying, oh, it's a double. Like, it would be 2 successes.
I wasn't saying
right?
that.
Like,
That was Umbry, not me.
oh, okay. Well, either way,
Yeah.
it specifically says that that's not a factor here.
I don't know shit about this.
So anyway, in a versus test, subtract the margin of success from your opponent's body of argument. So essentially, what you want to do is you're going to chip away at him regardless, but he is going to set the difficulty for you. So if you can get over 4 successes, you can actually do damage to him. But otherwise, he's
Do I
completely.
use persuasion or will for this?
It's persuasion for you. And
All
then you
right.
can also, yeah.
Do I have advantage or anything?
Not in this case, no. Not an advantage, like, particularly. This would
Is
just be
she
a normal
able to
roll.
use persona?
She could use another persona on this roll. Wait, so you were spending that was for will, I think, right? I should note that you spent those on will, because I did not actually do that.
No modifiers. I'm gonna spend my last Artha.
Okay, fair. I'll put 3 persona
Base
into
obstacle
will
is
then.
4, right?
Yes, that's
Base
correct.
op is for you.
You have 4 dice. 5 dice, actually. I think that's actually challenging for you, so this will be good for your will.
You were supposed to have 5 die. Why do you only have 4?
Well,
No,
I forgot to roll one.
She has... Oh, she only has 3 dice.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Why is
Wait, well, she has 3 dice, because she has persuasion of 3.
Yeah,
That
but
makes
then
sense.
why is... I thought you said she's supposed to have
And
5.
no, I was reading her will by accident. So yes, this would be a challenging persuasion test. So I will mark that for you. You do get that. Oh, this is for persuasion. Okay, so I'll change this over.
Wait, does she have a persuasion call on or no?
No.
You do.
Ah, damn. If she had, then she could have re-rolled failure.
So essentially, you're what you're saying is like, oh, she has information, and he just like blocks you out.
Stonewalls you.
He's absolutely not. It doesn't
But
matter
the
if she has
sun must
information.
be recovered at any cost, even if we have to work with heretics.
I mean, that's going to be your next one.
So that's what you're saying to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to. Well, I wanted to try to pick something for him, but I think I know what he's going to do next. So I'm going to check that. Normally we do this. I would pick something and then you would tell me, but in this case, I already sort of have what he's going to tell you. I don't know if he has intimidation or not. I don't think he does. I'm going to check. So he doesn't have anything.
I made a valid point of whether he'd actually use it on her or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to check if he has anything that could actually, like, he could use this with.
He said he doesn't have persuasion or intimidation.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of stuff that could actually, like, help him in this
He has
case.
crowd speaking, but that's
So
it.
in this case, he is going to take the penalty and try to, like, what he's doing is he's insulting the witches, and he's saying you would take information.
Oh,
from
he's so lucky Melanie isn't there.
a dirty heretic. You would be willing to trust that information? How can you trust these lying witches? They connive and they cheat and they steal and they lie. And that's he's inciting it. So I'm going to see what that sort of, how that breaks down. So the opponent's action is insight. Insight and then you doing a point. So it's a standard test. So you both roll separately. So I'll let you roll first because that'll damage his point. And then I'll give you a bonus die on this one because you are appealing to his belief. And
Base
you're basically
obstacle 1, right?
the base obstacle is 1, yeah. Okay, do you want to use your fate on this because you're
I do.
okay.
Nice.
So
And
how
the one doesn't count as the margin, so you're basically doing you're basically just
so
doing
how
like
many
direct
dice do I
damage.
roll if I spend a fate?
That's 2 dice.
Long successes.
Let's see, persuasion. I'll mark this. What level is it at? Difficult or is it? No, it's just routine, isn't it? But you need those now, don't you?
Yes, I need 3 routine.
Okay, well, those aren't successes, but you do get a new routine test, so that helps you. And you effectively do 3 damage to his argument. So you bring him down. You bring him down to
4.
3. So you've already brought him down to. You brought him down to half.
Sam, I've told you 5 times now dinner's ready.
Middle of a fight.
I don't care. Dinner's been on the table for over 20 minutes.
If you want to postpone this, we can. I don't mind. I have to make my roll.
Yeah, let's finish this up as quick as possible.
No, I'd rather you go. It's fine with me if you. If
All right,
you
I'll
have to-
eat. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So do we go back to us? In this
Yeah,
case?
I think that would work actually, because we can go back to something, can't we? But I want to. I need to actually do this.
Yeah, I can
this
wait.
ritual real quick.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Yeah. Or wins the versus test, his opponent must make a skill test. Misses his next action. However, if he fails, the margin of failure.
Just debating whether or not I want to finish the rest of this whiskey or to get in character or get to my bourbon, because I have bourbon, I have whiskey, and I have vodka. But
I didn't ask you to drink to get into character. That's your decision.
Hey! What I do after work is
What
my
I do
business.
after work is my business.
I'm sure you and I are going to get along fine.
This Jim Beam is disgusting, but I'll drink it. I don't
This
care.
is going to be a it's a will versus will test effectively, but it's ob 8 for him, so I don't think he can pass it.
God, that has like no flavor.
So
How do you make a whiskey with no flavor?
Effectively, he just automatically fails this, but he might get fate that he might get 6s, and it might
Do you
matter.
just want to roll it now?
Yeah, I'm rolling this right.
I so wish I was in this room because me and Aaron's have the same goal.
Yeah, because he can't help you here. So
yeah, I know my character is
No.
though.
If all three of us were there, we'd be the main protagonist in an anime.
This would be easy. Like it would be easily
He would be easily overthrown because we all have the same outlook on the witches.
But the problem is that he's using this unskilled, so it doubles his obstacle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why he has to roll at ob 8.
Yeah, but see, like, I have persuasion, oratory, rule of law, rhetoric. I have argument skills.
I mean, I have intimidation and persuasion, plus a persuasion colon.
So he's
Jesus!
Trying to
God, he gets thrown out, and he doesn't have anything that he can reroll with fate.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that the margin of failure is added as advantage dice to the opponent's next.
So now she has 5 extra dice.
So he's saying basically, she gets 5 extra dice, and basically what he's saying is these witches are stupid. You can't trust them.
I don't like them. Pushes them over in the playground.
I know a witch, and she's really.
I'm the school bully.
Witches are stupid. You can't.
As much as because
a witch bullied me back when they were allowed in this town.
I don't like them.
And I held a grudge ever since because she gave me a wedgie and said that I was a nerd.
The sad thing is like out of game, I like Bartholomew's character.
Yeah.
Like not like I would get along with him in real life, but I like him
like the way he looks. Yeah.
Not just his looks, because Brandon has described to me Nova has described
his
to me
outlook,
kind of his outlook and how he views things, and I'm like, I can see the logic in that.
Yeah,
and
that's why he's a great villain, because he has reasoning. Like,
and also, him and my character are actually friends, so like it is going to be a little bit.
That's great.
Because it is weird, because they were friends back when he was a dumb teenager, and now he's a dumb young adult.
Did you actually know that in this canon that witches used to live in this city? They used to be allowed.
I didn't know that. Did I?
You and I talked about that.
I don't remember reading that in the packet.
You and I talked about that.
Well, that wasn't something that we established.
It was a long time ago.
But that wasn't something we established.
We said that witches were. We talked about the idea.
Oh, well, that's not something that happened. No, they would never
live. No, not live there, but they were accepted a long while ago.
No, that never would have happened.
Okay.
They've always been living separated from each other. You
know what? That must have been. It was a conversation that we had before we started the calendar, and then the calendar made it a definitive line in which they hated each other. We were playing around with that idea before we made the definitive line inside the calendar.
Well, no, it's not just the calendar, because the whole concept is if they were accepted.
I'm saying we furthered the concept because of the calendar.
Yeah, exactly. There's a huge divide between them. It's not like they would have ever been accepted. They always.
If they were accepted, that would make my character's like very long-term goal a lot more achievable.
Right, but my
Which-
problem with that, like, a lot of these witches, they literally were born and grew up in a completely different, like, geographical location. So, and they are always there from the beginning of time.
I'm just saying I remembered it wrong.
No, 'cause
I had previous information because of the conversations before
the way,
calendar event.
just to clarify, the way I'm imagining it being, I mean, we can change that. You can make a rule right now and say, no, they used to be accepted in the society, and that's like a thing that happened in the past, like history-wise. But the idea right now is that the way I saw it as the current canon, unless you decide you want to change it, and because you can change it if you want, is that they
I would say that it has to be like
is that they've just
like
been
way back.
is that
like-
they've just been living in the mountains since the beginning of time, and
I'll make the canon is that they used to like this is like at least 100, 200, maybe even
because
more
the
than that.
city
Years
the
like-
city was established along with the church, and from the beginning the church was against them. So the whole point would be that they would never have allowed them.
Maybe not in the church, but the time before the church.
That's
Like-
Right. But then the time before the church, there was no like huge established city.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. It's just like what it could have been is that they could have been there, but once it was like even as they were established, or whatever, they could have been against them from the beginning, but they actually managed to drive them out.
No,
They
I can
actually managed to
understand
do
that.
that point.
Like
Yeah.
if you're saying, oh, the church used to live in the same geographic area as
That's what I'll say in that.
Donkey.
Yeah.
But then they were forced out and they moved into the mountains. Yeah,
That's what I'll say under that context then. But it was a long time ago, and any main
you don't even need to roll for that. I'd say yes to that. That's totally solid.
I'm just gonna say like the main source history of that is probably stricken off of their records because they didn't want to have anything to do with them.
Right. No,
So-
I understand.
So that's why it wouldn't be inside the doctrines, at least in terms of like that kind of situation. But it did happen. It would just be it would be like something like deep inside of obscure history.
Right, and I'm not going to make you roll because I like that idea that they used to live like
it makes a lot of things more interesting is what I'm trying to get at.
Like physically the humans all lived in one place, but then culturally they all separated.
They became divided.
And maybe like since the witches were driven out of their land, maybe there's like some leftover resentment from that, so there could be a very obvious like
there's no question about it. There is.
Yeah, like the witches are like
they're practically like I'm gonna be honest with you, they're practically racist. Is what I'm saying. Like their actual thing between them is that they have a like sort of racist kind of vibe between each other. Is because if you're part of the church, then witches don't trust you, and B, witches are pretty much dislike you because as the church sees it, they hate witches on a fanatical scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
exactly
true
why-
for the most part.
But that's why Bartholomew is like this, and it's only and it's people like you that's inside the church and stuff like that have affiliations with them, which is the only silver lining that people have nowadays. If you have a legitimate reason that you're involved with the witches.
Yeah, I like
secret wives making my alliances difficult.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's
like
probably
this
more people that have interactions with witches. It's just they can't divulge that, or else they'd be fucking murdered.
I also have some plans for demons. I haven't told Brandon about those.
What?
Oh no! It's a Timaeus 2.0.
Not the demons.
I'm not gonna. Okay, I have plans, but I have plans, but they're not positive plans.
Oh, okay.
They're neutral to negative plans.
So wait, so what you're saying is you're going to become a Timaeus and
okay, guys. Have you guys seen Supernatural?
Oh God,
The television show.
Not this again.
Get out of here! Get out of here right now! Leave!
No. Look.
You are banned from my storyline.
I'm just saying. I'm willing to sell my soul to get things done.
Okay, that sounds okay. I thought that you were gonna say, we're gonna bind them all. It's cool, guys.
No. This is not Pokemon catch all the demons.
Gotta catch a demon, man. Do.
That's not my goal. My goal is to just sell sell my soul in perpetuity and then just continuously kill the demons I sell my soul to.
Some people would argue that Pokemon is already demonic, but that's a conversation for
There
another
are demon Pokemon, so I mean,
So I love no, because this gives a really interesting merit to her argument. Is that like if she was like if this conversation happened back then she would have had even more leverage.
support. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the
she would have,
problem,
because there would have been a decent amount of support back then. Because there's probably people that used to live in that area, or at least they're probably old now. At least
what, like hundreds of years ago? Like, no,
Well,
there's no
no,
one
I'm
alive.
talking about like generational wise. It's like there's probably like family members that aren't witches, that are like regular people that migrated from that area to where the witches were, because people would have had divided opinions, and they would have moved on those opinions.
Yeah.
Which is why that thing can grow, and that like why the witches can grow too, and that it's like it's a decent populace.
Yeah.
Is because it has both witches and generational regular human people.
Yeah, I mean, the witches aren't necessarily all magical. I mean, some of them just practice.
Well, you know what I mean by that.
They all just work. The thing with the witches is the only difference is that they worship different principles.
And that they're
They follow
gifted.
different principles. Some of them, like more of them, are gifted, but like the church also has magic too. It's not like they.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like they don't have people who can use magic. They
But
also.
see,
magic
that's an interesting though. That's an interesting thing though. Is that a legitimate argument could be brought up about the fact that the church actually does use magic?
Yeah.
And it would come down to the decision. It's like, why do you? It's like, what is the exact reason? Because if it's just because they use a different source of magic, you're technically guilty of it too.
I want to clarify that the concept is that essentially the gods operate kind of like the Force. So they're both using the Force, but just different aspects of it.
Yeah, and they both see each other as the dark side and themselves at the light side.
Right.
It's a theological and philosophical difference, not a source of magic issue as far as I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the way I'm viewing how the way the magic works is the magic all comes from, like, in general, each god specifically, but then the different god you would worship affects the magic that you channel.
Have access to, yeah.
Plus, there's like the core differences in allowing like creativity. Oh, welcome back.
Good. So
Umbry, guess what? You get 5 extra dice.
Because
Bartholomew fucked up.
He's fumbling over here. Yeah.
Bartholomew had a doubled up thing because in this particular thing that he's working on, and his failures add to your roll.
I mean, I think what he's doing is he's like basically insulting the witches. He's basically being the Donald Trump right now. He's like, the witches, they're all rapists. They're all rapists. They're all gonna, they're gonna come in here.
What's the base obstacle?
We have to build a bigger wall.
So what are you sort of countering with? Like, what's your?
Are you countering with another point, or?
Countering with another point. I'm like, these witches, even if they are liars, their information might still be honest. You never know.
I mean,
that's confirm until you actually hear it and test it yourself.
I mean, that seems more like a rebuttal to me.
That seems more like a rebuttal. Like, if you were going to make a point, it would be something along the lines of like.
It is a rebuttal.
I mean, a point would be something along the lines of like you're letting personal opinions,
but like I said,
dissuade you from what's in the actual.
You're letting personal opinions sway you instead of what we need,
or what's in the actual legitimate doctrine.
Okay.
Because he's not following the doctrine. He's following his personal opinions on the matter because he's saying that they're stupid.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And if he's doing that, then he's letting things affect him.
You're being colored by your prejudices. Think clearly.
Oh, that's
information.
So essentially, what he says is like he's kind of trying to avoid. So essentially, what this does is this is like a clear. Like nothing happens because he you're like rebutting him and he's not really speaking on the issue, so you don't really get anywhere because essentially what he does is you're letting your personal beliefs cloud your judgment, and he's just like, no, this is ridiculous. Stop accusing me
So
of
the
these things.
persuasion is rolled. Can I spend a fate or no?
No, you don't. I said don't roll. This is not a roll you make. This is like you kind of cancel each other out because he's
Sorry.
avoiding the topic. So he didn't make a point. He's just like, no, what? I don't.
What
No.
what you're saying is that he's being a big fucking baby.
But you get so the idea is that you get 5 dice to your next action
On your
but
next
you don't
action,
roll
yeah.
an action.
Because you made
So-
a point earlier before and he avoided it.
Yeah, so he's canceled out the opening that you've made by basically you've now have to reach a new point of consensus. And I have to determine actually when we end this, because I think you would have technically won. Reducing to 0 while maintaining dice means you win the... Okay. So you still need to reduce him to 0.
And he has 3 out of 6 right now. So she
Yeah.
has to make another turn then. It
So
has
you
to
have
be
to
another
go-
bout then.
We have to go into another bout here because it's 3 for every bout. So
But she's coming
this-
in with those dice from before, right?
In this case, no, because that's what I'm saying. It cancels out, so she doesn't get any benefit from that.
Okay.
Because the next action, she didn't roll anything. But now you have to make sure you let me choose, because if you tell me what you're doing, then I can counter it. If you let me choose first, then I can't counter.
You
what
can
you
choose
do.
first.
So in this case, I'm going to pick something. I'm going to say, this is probably what he's going to do. And then you're going to tell me what action you want to take.
Well, why don't you tell us what you've already chosen?
Well, no, that's the point. You don't know until you tell me what you do, and then I tell you his counter.
All right, but
basically.
you've already made your decision.
Yeah, no, that's the point. I lock in the way it works is I decide, and then you tell me, and then we do it.
All right.
That's how it works. Just trying to.
I know
wasn't
I
very
might
well
be
right.
asking too much, but no cost is too high for the information we need. We could save the sun with more progress than we've had in the last 100 years.
Okay. And he's saying, basically what he's saying is this witch deserves to be burned. She causes a threat to the entire, city. If we allow her to live, she could escape.
So Nova, is that a point
Yeah.
versus
He's
point?
making a point. So you're both making points.
Okay,
at the
so
same
it's the same roll as before then.
Yeah.
Not the avoiding one, but the one before that, where they're on equal ground.
So you both roll essentially.
So you both roll to attack each other.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And he's saying, well, if you let her live, she's a danger to this. We can't let her survive. If we don't burn her now, she's going to cause a problem for everyone. And then you're
Why
saying,
make her a danger when we can redeem her?
well, that would be your next statement.
Yeah, true.
That's a different statement altogether. You already made your statement. You're
Yeah.
basically now you're rolling against each other. But does he have to roll first, or is she rolling first? 'Cause they're separate at this point.
You both roll at the same time.
Yeah, they're separated technically.
Yeah.
All right.
So in this case, you both just roll it. I'm just checking what skill he's using.
Yeah, and she's using persuasion, right?
Yes.
Or okay.
I probably should have had him do interrogation.
And then he doesn't have one, does he? That's what
You know
it
what?
was
You know
from
what?
before.
I think that's what he's gonna He's like, this witch should be, burned. And if if you're siding with her, then you should be considered
Oh shit.
that's kind of where he's going. He's questioning you now. He's like, can I trust you if you're going to defend a witch? He's kind of interrogating you at this point. I think that's where he's going to go with it, because he's literally going in that direction where he's starting to be like, hey, this witch is supposed to be burned, and she's a danger to the, and if you're defending her, then you could be, I should consider you an enemy.
Was that the one that you rolled by accident?
Yeah, that's the one I rolled
That's the
by
one she
accident.
Okay, yeah.
rolled by accident.
I wasn't looking at the thing from before. That's why.
So I do want him to try to roll that, because I feel like I'm thinking he's going to try to push it in that direction.
Yeah,
'Cause now he's
that's,
sort of
that's
getting-
what I know.
He's getting into her. Although his skill isn't very high for that, he's still using it. But he is using heresy wise, so he gets a die there. And then he's using doctrine. Let's see. And religious. What's this? Religious ritual? No. Sunwise, suasion, symbology, church-wise. So yeah, I'm gonna give him 2 dice because he has forks for this. So he'll have 4 dice. Modifiers 2. Arthur 0. Base 1.
So he rolls
Let's see what he got.
0 to 1.
Damn.
Damn.
He didn't even get 1 success.
Now you have
Wow.
to roll.
Did you want to? Okay, so that one was the fake one. So now it's your turn. Your obstacle is still 1.
And then
it's
you
just-
have to roll.
technically
is it
0.
persuasion?
And I still get the 5 extra dice, right?
No.
that's
That
canceled
was
out.
the previous turn, and that was already canceled out because he basically used his avoiding. So for now, you're rolling naturally.
Yeah, but keep
So
in
you would be
mind now
rolling
he's
your persuasion.
basically trying to say, well, if you're defending her, you're the enemy, and she's a danger to everyone. If you're defending her, then that means you're.
Does she have any modifiers in this one, or is it just a standard +3?
No,
okay,
it's
well
just-
she's still got 1.
She's still
so
got
that's more
1.
than that's more than he got. So he gets like a 1 damage, right?
Yes, he still takes damage, and you take no damage because he didn't get any successes.
Am I able to spend a fate or no?
Is that a
there's no
6?
sixes. There's no 6s.
No.
here.
Okay, then no. So now he's down to 2 out of 6, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, BOA. I already put it up there for you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
He hasn't lost any yet because he's terrible at arguing, I've realized.
He's just the worst.
He's like, you're an enemy. And she's like, no, what? You have to realize these are useful. And he's just like, but no.
And then I listed Aaron's too for the sake of everything.
Anyone who can help us find the sun shards is an ally yet to be made.
Okay, so I'm going to check something, and then I'm going to determine his next action.
Even Bartholomew thought his last argument was stupid. He rolled so bad.
He realized his mistake when he said it because he called in the question one of the people
Okay.
he trusts most.
Okay, so I'm ready. I'm ready with my statement. It's your turn to choose yours.
Christ.
Point.
Okay. point.
Anyone who can help us find the shards of the sun is an ally yet to be made.
Okay.
Even if she was once a heretic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying we should redeem the heretic. Okay.
Even if she is a heretic, her information might be valuable, and she's an ally.
I'm surprised you
yet to
haven't
be
brought
made.
up I'm surprised you haven't brought up the fact that they have no substantial evidence.
Yeah. I think so. What he's saying in response is effectively like, she cannot be redeemed. Her soul is damned. She has made her choice in life to suffer under these corrupt gods, and they have damned her soul. And that's effectively he's blocking out he's trying to like block your point. So it's
another test again.
It's a versus test.
But then his that makes his obstacle 8 in this case again, doesn't it?
No, because he's using obfuscate, which is actually
Okay, so in this case, it's not. He got the 8 because he was avoiding earlier.
Yeah, he has a skill for this, and then basically he's using his religious like speak to be like, no, her soul is damned. She cannot be redeemed.
Okay, so he doesn't receive a penalty this time
No,
around.
this time he doesn't have a
If
penalty.
he was trying to avoid it, he would have.
So in this case, he's doing heresy wise again, so 2 extra dice. He's not using oratory, and he's using he's using suasion, so he has 5 dice.
I mean, I could see an
But
argument
wait,
for
does he-
doctrine on
Does he
either side.
legitimately have
Yeah.
persuasion? Because I thought you said he didn't.
Well, he has suasion, which is like
suasion is
Illusion is only for crowds. It's just
Okay.
the 2 of us.
Well, in this case, it says he can use it for obfuscate. Suasion is just religious persuasion. He's using like this religious. He's basically, going off on this religious diatribe.
Okay.
So he's going to set your obstacle.
And he's rolling with 5 dice.
Yes. But he doesn't have any R's yet, so you don't have any either, I don't think.
So obstacle 3.
Okay, that makes this kind of challenging. Now let me just check what that means. If the obfuscator exceeds his obstacle, so you also have to roll. That's the idea.
I figured.
So this will determine what the roll. So you're rolling against him, so it's obstacle 3 for you.
No modifiers, right?
So what are you rolling? Just a
Persuasion.
Point? Persuasion. No, you don't have any modifiers here, I don't think.
And I have no Artha. Base obstacle is 3.
Okay.
Do I have any fate? Do I have any 6s?
Yes, you do.
I'll
Yeah,
spend a
2.
bit.
So you can. So yeah, spend
Oh.
fate to re-roll 2 of them.
Oh, by the way, you don't get multiple tests for like a single combat. So the one that you got at the beginning will count for the. I just need to mark that you're spending the fate real quick.
So she landed 3 for 3. She didn't get any extra from the 2 extra die that she rolled.
Okay. But 3 for 3 is still good because you basically
You negate what he's doing, I guess.
Yeah, because actually what happens is if he loses, actually you tie and he's the defender, so he wins. Yeah, because you tied. But I had to check because I think there might be a rule for it says ties here. Yeah, actually you tie, so that means that you don't win. And you can't break the tie, so you fail. Yes.
I mean, you could break the tie with murder most foul, but I mean,
she could.
it's in the rules. It's under Duel of Wits.
Well, no, I'm saying specifically here when you tie with a single
The
test. That's
Battle
what
of
she
Wits is
loses.
still ongoing, right?
So this is still ongoing. But what I'm saying is that because you tied and he's the defender, he succeeds in this case, and he basically you have an ob +1 to your next action. So what is your well? Let me decide what his next action is going to be. I think he is going to make a. I think actually, I know what he's going to do now. So I'm going to look that up real quick because I have to look up something else for this.
Man,
The
the other people in
doctrine
that room must
says
look
that
so
all
awkward.
deserve a second chance.
Okay.
Have you not forgotten that?
I think essentially what he's going to do is he's going to just stop listening to you and start praying to save your soul. So
Have you not forgotten that the doctrine says that all deserve a second chance?
You know, he's effectively not listening to you anymore. So, well, that's not true. So that would be a lie. Because he's basically already said that that's like not the case.
Well, actually, let me change that. I'm gonna fix that. Do you really want it to take longer finding the sun when we could potentially speed it up?
Okay, I see.
The sun is the highest priority.
That's actually a decent point. Okay, so I'll let you make that point, but his counter is basically just going to be like he's not defending against you, but he's trying to like use his magic to like sway, or he's using like his divine intervention to try to sway your mind away from
I'm
this
sorry,
one.
I read a comment and I started.
So what do I roll and what do I add?
So you're just rolling your normal point, and then he's going to basically do a separate test to try to use his
What's the
divine
obstacle?
power. Obstacle is normal, so it's just 1. In this case, it's technically 0. So, okay. So you make no headway with him. He just covers his ears, and he starts like praying. So he's going to attempt to use his spell to do that. I need to look at that real quick for faith in conflicts, because I think I'm pretty sure there's a rule for that. I have to look this up because I think he might take a penalty for doing this. And your obstacle is, so you failed. You would have actually gotten like obstacle 1 anyway, so you failed the test. And he's effectively, you make no effect on him, and he's going to start like trying to pray to save your soul and like dissuade you from this horrid thinking. I just have to check like what the rules are for using it in a conflict. Okay. So you may use a prayer as an action in Duel of Wits. Action made against you while praying. Point is point is, let's see, ob 1. So you fail because it would have been ob 2 here. So you failed the test. So I have to see if anything happens if you fail the point, because I'm pretty sure it just means you do nothing to him. Because he actually does get it's +1 difficulty in a versus test, standard test. No, so in this case, just nothing happens on your end, but on his end, he's going to try to do this. He is going to try to pray, and I'm going to check what difficulty he would need to sway your mind. I think he's going to use will of strength, may drive out evil spirits. Oh my god, yes, he's still doing that. He's going to like basically pray, and then the god is going to intervene by affecting you on a spiritual level. That's horrifying.
It's weird as fuck.
But I love it. Okay, so that's going to be his. He's basically he's treating you as evil, and the god will drive you out. And since you're not human, it will actually work. Although he doesn't know that, but that'll be the interesting part. So it's ob 5 for him to do this. So I will get this set up. So he's using faith here, and he automatically rerolls 6s on this.
I'm hoping he rolls low.
Yeah, but he
From where I am, I start praying to Shadow God. Protect. No, I'm kidding.
Well, if he could do that, that would be interesting. But I don't.
That would be weird. That would
would
be
weird.
calling into question what's going on.
Now, if he fails, this could be very bad for him too.
His guy's just like, why are you calling into me into such stupid matters? I'm gonna punish.
Well, more like, why are you trying to punish a priestess? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
This ain't even my beef, dude.
Are you questioning her holiness?
Unlike sorcery.
I want their god to be totally tubular. Like, theoretical dude.
Technically, I'm a divine spirit.
Yeah, but he can like. Well, I mean, the god is acting. It depends on if the god is agreeing with him or not. That's what we're determining right now, basically. But I don't think I'm trying to see if he gets to add anything to this roll. It doesn't seem like he does. Well, actually, wait, because you have the one where you're a believer, so the obstacle would go down to 4.
Yeah.
So he has a better chance. And so I'll do.
But wait, wouldn't that be worse because of like wouldn't it be worse for
that's the
him
point.
because he's trying to hurt her?
Well,
Wouldn't it be worse for him?
He isn't
It
aware.
would be worse for him because he's trying to hurt a believer.
So let's see here. What?
3 to 4, he fails.
Oh boy, that is no bueno.
Suck it,
Well,
nerd.
he does get to spend a fate, and he can re-roll a die because it's an open-ended test. Because that's a rule. It is. I'm serious. Like if you already have an open-ended, he has 1 fate left, so he will use it. If it's already open-ended, you can use a fate to re-roll it, because otherwise then there would be no point to using fate for magic. That's a rule. Right? I did not. Oh, someone
You
put
put
2.
You put 2/7.
I don't know.
You did that, not me.
Oh, I guess because I was typing it and then you typed it for me and then I didn't. Okay, so that's a success. So he meets the obstacle. So
I still think it should have been 4 versus 5.
Let's see what happens to you. Well, she believes that it'll work. That's the.
What do you mean? She believes that it'll work.
That's the problem. Like she's empowering the god by acknowledging the fact of the faith. It's the principle that, like, yeah, she doesn't want this to happen, but she still believes in the god and is giving him power. That's the rub. It's like, yeah, now it's working against you. Well, that's too bad because you still believe in them. Unless you renounce your belief, it doesn't go away. which she hasn't
Well,
done.
wouldn't it be harder because he's trying to do it to trying to expel a
No,
believer?
at this point, he might just say he's declaring you as an enemy, and he's saying to dissuade you from this thinking. And essentially, his interpretation of that is to force you out.
It still doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, I guess.
Or strength. So what's your will?
My will is 4.
Okay, so yeah, you essentially what happens is you are.
Oh wait, do you mean? Hold on, do you mean her will, as in just her will, or her BOA?
No, just her will, like
Okay.
her will stat. So essentially, what happens is he like lays his he goes over, he like lays his hand on you, and you don't die, but you just are forced out of the church. But he didn't succeed he didn't actually succeed to prevent you from creating this argument. So now you've implanted this doubt in him. So
Yeah.
you still get your compromise.
He went, and she had full 7 out of 7 on her BOA.
Right.
So her point's still solid.
So the idea
He's at
is
a
that
2 out of 7.
because keep
No,
in
2 out of
mind,
6, sorry.
keep in mind, I said he had conflicting beliefs about this, and all Aaron has done is basically shown him, oh, maybe Aaron is right, but he doesn't have time to consider that because now he just saw Aaron like basically.
He just accidentally sent you out.
Yes.
You-
So
And he didn't mean to do
spare
that.
her life, but in exchange, she must give us her information and stay at the church.
right. So that would be your compromise. I think
Yeah.
that's fine, but you're not like. So you're saying that she can't be executed, but we're not going to like basically
Let her go.
because
Yeah.
his whole thing is like, yeah, we can't let her go. And then
So
your
the
whole
compromise is that
But
what,
we
like, look at specifically like what you want, because that would determine the compromise here. Because you can't get entirely.
we can't have her executed, but she must provide what information she can, and we can keep her at the church.
She is more valuable to the church alive than dead. The church was founded, even if it means that we help the corrupt, we should spare her life in exchange for the information. Okay, so essentially, I think what he would do is he would say, okay, we're going to get the information and then kill her, is the compromise. He's not
How
going to spare
about
her.
we?
He's
How about
not
we
going to spare her
don't-
life.
How about
He's
we
going
don't
to-
kill her? We keep
he's
her
going to
prisoner
get-
at the church.
No, because you didn't get him like, I think, well, I have to check, because I think
He's
you
2
might
out
have
of
just
6.
won. I think you might have won, but I have to
She
check.
won that. She's 7 out of 7.
Yeah. I just have to check if that means that she wins entirely or not, because I think that she does, but I'm just checking. Because I think you're right. I just have to check because I'm not sure if it's like, oh,
That's what I'm saying. Because if you look at it by an argument standpoint,
Yeah,
he lost
yeah.
that argument.
he lost. I just have to check if.
Yeah, because he just banished her. He didn't
Yeah,
technically
he cheated.
outwit her.
He
Yeah,
cheated.
He cheated.
Basically, he did the murder most foul without the murder.
Right. He didn't murder.
Yeah, he did.
Once
No,
the-
no, I'm
wait,
just saying, like,
wait. So you're
idea
right. So
behind
if
a murder most foul.
What happens if that happens? Then that's a good point.
Hold on, let me find it.
time-
It is on page 401.
Murder. Yeah, I found it here. So if a compromise cannot be reached when either side may attempt to murder, and murdered they must be, you must kill the other side in order to erase the travesty. It does not win the duel. You abdicate any form of compromise. Okay, so keep in mind, Aaron is not literally dead, but
No.
your point has been annulled by the fact that he has now realized that you are not a human being, and that you have been expelled from the church. Because that's essentially what has happened.
So now he knows I'm not human.
Well, yeah, you basically, because what I'm more imagining is that you've been expelled from your body and you've turned into a spirit, and then you're like blasted out of the church, basically, is what has happened, like physically in front of him. So
Yeah,
like,
he saw you
be-
basically turn into a
you-
fire spirit and then get thrown out.
Yeah, that's essentially how
Your
this
human
happened.
guys was like left behind like a fucking bleach ski guy.
You mean sun spirit?
And then you just get blasted out of the church.
Sun spirit, basically.
But I think the interesting thing,
He still
Is
lost
that-
that argument.
he still lost the argument, so he doesn't get to kill her entirely. So I think in this case,
We
it'll be
do get what we want. She can't be killed, but she'll still get. He'll probably still try and get information out of her.
So I think what he will do is I'll make this the sort of the compromise. I'll write this like as a thing is that
All right.
he's going to not kill her immediately because he realizes that this spirit was correct and that she has information that could be valuable and that they can't just execute her.
Here's my question: is he actually? Wouldn't he be like even more upset by the fact that
Now whether I think whether they can,
aren't spirits holy though, and doesn't he realize that he just did something
no,
wrong
spirits
to a
are
holy
not.
spirit?
Spirits aren't holy at all. Like spirits are an
Okay.
enemy of the church.
Well, some spirits
Regardless
are
of-
holy, but they're not accepted.
No, the spirits aren't really holy either. Like none of the spirit. You're not.
Yeah, but she's proven her faith.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That is the problem here. Is that you have proven your faith.
Yeah,
And you've
time
been-
and time again, and that's how you're actually able to be a priestess.
Yeah, but keep in mind.
Instead of like, and I don't mean to intrude here, but I think I got like an idea to kind of handle this with it making kind of
I
sense.
mean, the
of
floor is
concept.
yours. We're open to ideas.
Sure.
So this is a big event that just happened.
Yes.
With the casting out of a spirit, right? So
Yes.
instead of saying he concedes his point and he knows he was wrong because he lost a couple points.
Oh yeah.
But he's not saying I won't murder her. He's saying
Right.
I have to deal with this spirit right now. I'm going to put this on my back burner.
Because I wanted to kind of clarify like what his compromise is. His compromise is basically going to be, okay, we won't kill her now. We'll see what information she has, and then we'll let that determine if she lives or not.
Yeah, but I'm also saying
It's
like
essentially his compromise.
you could also
but
point
his
out that
intentions also shifted to the fact that she's
Yeah.
the fucking spirit.
Yeah.
his
But with
attention is elsewhere now.
yeah, of course. His attention is now, divided as well on top of that compromise.
So he probably won't get to it right away.
Basically, a spirit made of sunlight.
Mhm. Well, you're a fire spirit, not a sun. Well, you came from the sun, but you're a fire spirit.
That's still sunlight. Sunlight is a big ball of fire.
True.
We don't know that.
Big ball of fire.
This is medieval, man. We don't know science.
Let's see. So compromise is
Witches do.
Look,
the
my
church.
wife's a smart one, all right? I'm not.
Hey, I'm a smart one. I might be related to your wife.
Not kill. No, you're not related.
I could be her sister's fucking. I don't know.
You're not related to them.
Could be like a cousin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kill
I could be a
the
fucking
witch.
cousin.
All witches are inbred. Don't you know,
well,
Brandon?
Oh dear God, no,
Determine-
they're not. I already made that point. That there's regular people that live
We
there.
will determine what information she has.
God,
and
don't twist my
then
story. This is
that
they are not
will-
inbred people.
That they will.
He's inbred. He knows what other people inbred are like.
Well, you might be inbred, but that doesn't mean any of most of the witches are.
Look, I know what the taste of inbred is. All right.
Okay, well you're not right in
Inbred,
this
yeah.
instance.
I know. So I want to sort of frame this last scene one more time because I want to sort of hit this home because this is kind of the last thing that happens.
Well, I mean,
This is-
besides me interacting with the person, but yeah.
Well, this is the ending is sort of this where we see
Yeah.
this dramatic.
This is the big climactic end.
Of him laying her hands on Aaron and she says, dissuade this one from her horrible thinking.
And
Cast
instead of that, she gets fucking pushed out of her body.
What specifically he says is like cast out the demons from her and allow her to think clearly. And then literally in response, this spirit form appears and then it's cast out of the church and she isn't dead, but she's in this sort of
But she's
spirit form.
outside of the church.
And she doesn't have like a physical form at this point, so she's like
Did
literally.
anyone see her or no?
No,
Oh,
this is
Oh.
visual. Like they can see this spirit like flying out of the church, and like if you wanted to take some sort of like flaming thing, you don't necessarily need to be like you could just be a firefly or whatever. But like right now, you're like a fluttering fairy girl, like flying out of the church, and your little wings are like fluttering a bit.
Flutter, 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 flutter.
and like
It'd be
everyone,
great if she like
like,
passed by
everyone-
Melody's face and Melody didn't notice and just like kept
Well,
walking
you guys,
forward.
just for context, I'm assuming you guys would be like on the upper floor, so maybe
Yeah,
she
so we
just, like,
see her face through the floor, and then
I just I'm imagining like she tries to
she drops her fucking like she drops the thing of whiskey and she looks over and she's like, "Did you see that?"
You know what? That's not the final scene is actually like basically the final scene is especially like
That just
her
happened.
trying to fly away, and then the two of you seeing this.
That's what I'm saying.
Fairy, like
Yeah.
fly past the window, and you're just like, wait, is that real?
Well, not by a window. I imagine it because we're on the upper floor, so I imagine she's shunted out through the top of the roof.
No,
So
this is on the lobby, so she's like gets forced out.
Okay,
to the
then yeah,
front door.
that we
she's
see her
like-
at this point.
And then she's like fluttering up on fairy dust and like floating into the air, and you're like, wait a minute.
And I want there to be like a pregnant moment of silence, and then we go running out of the building.
Yeah, me
after-
and him both run outside. Wait, no. Me and him look to each other. We slowly put our drinks down, and then we just run.
I grab like a fucking mason jar that you'd catch fireflies in. And I start running.
No, get your goddamn Link shit out of here.
I need a new light.
She
My
just-
candles are
she
burning
grab-
out.
She grabs the file on herself and she runs outside.
I have
Okay.
copies.
So for
she's just like, I
Bartholomew,
need it to myself.
I'm giving him his points now.
All right. Oh my god, that's amusing.
I love how
He's still
hard
fucked up,
that
though.
that
He's still
Bart lost
lost,
that
yeah.
argument.
Oh,
Bart
no, he
lost that
lost.
argument
So
harder
he-
than like.
Aaron still won, but
Yeah, Aaron still won, but
Yeah,
it
I'm
wasn't-
talking about
the-
Bart
it wasn't-
though. I'm
it
talking
wasn't
about
a-
Bartholomew
it
and how
wasn't a full
poorly
they
he
both,
did.
in a way they both won.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
a full victory. Yeah.
It was a Pyrrhic victory for Aaron.
Pyrrhic, you mean Pyrrha? I mean what?
What? What was this?
So do you think? I like that he's being like pragmatic. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I think I'll give him some die for that. Faithful. So yeah,
He
those
used up his persuasion. So.
I'll give him 2 more fate for his traits because those came into play for sure.
No, and she's just looking up at like she's just looking up at Aaron, and like she knows what that like this means too.
I
'Cause,
don't
like,
think you do because you've never seen Aaron like what Aaron actually looks like.
no, I haven't, but I know what she told me what she was.
Right,
So
but
I understand that like the only
Okay.
fucking fire
I feel
spirit
like- I
that's
feel like
in
this
this
would be-
vicinity
yeah.
could be her.
I feel like we could
Okay.
address this next
know what?
session.
no. I think you're right. No, I agree with you. I was gonna like say, well, no, you don't. I was gonna think about you rolling for it, but then I realized, no, you don't have to. You're right. You would know.
And I do
Yeah,
have
'cause
that
she told
instinct
me.
of always knowing where my quarry is, so.
You would know you're screwed. That's-
Well, you can always fit Aaron inside a bottle.
Yeah, I got this mason jar right here.
so
Look,
I will give you. So we're going through beliefs now. I'm gonna give you a fate point because you did actually advance your position.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
And and technically, I told Aaron to protect the thing, which kind of worked. But I mean, I got called off, so I don't know. Do I only get like half out of that?
You only get 1 for that one, and then
Okay.
I always give someone the chance to prove they're good. Right. So protect any. No. Okay. Living in fear, pursued. Oh right. Didn't we get rid of that? Oh yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. We got rid of those.
No, pursued we got rid of. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
that's what I'm saying. Pursue got rid of not living in fear.
I don't know why that's still there. I should delete it.
Yeah.
Okay. Guarded. I don't know about guarded. You were pretty open with him.
Well, I mean, we didn't have much to be guarded about.
That's true. No, I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not
because
saying-
like I also
I'm
did
not
approach
saying
her
you should guard-
amiably, like.
No, because I like.
Are-
Sometimes you are guarded. Sometimes you aren't. Like that's part of
Yeah.
why.
As far as Arcane goes, I mean, except for like witnessing this happen in front of me, I don't think she used
No.
magic.
No,
Um,
arcane doesn't mean magical. It means mysterious.
Oh, okay. Was I mysterious this thing? Did I seem mysterious to anybody?
No.
So in this case, I'm going to go back to.
Worshiper of the Shadow God was not in this
let's
case.
do Avery. So your beliefs.
Cynical didn't pop out.
I know you only got like a quarter of a scene, but I want to see if I can give you any points for what you did do.
I don't think I did anything other than I'm building a profile on Melanie. But
Oh,
I
wait.
did it.
But
Wait,
that does
Curious,
count, yeah.
Curious popped out.
In what way do you think?
I asked him straight fucking out about his goddamn fucking black lion thing.
That was accusatory. That's less curiosity. That's
No.
No,
accusatory.
that was even further upon it because she asked you like if you had any information on it. Accusatory would have been
Well,
like.
I will give you
up a
a
person.
fake point for this because you did sort of. I disagree with that entirely, so it doesn't matter what you're arguing.
Dang.
I don't think you were
Shut
super
down.
curious in this case. But for Avery, I'm giving you a fate point because you did build you have been building a profile on her, and even if you aren't, at the moment you're getting information. So.
Oh no, he actively was. I didn't get the chance to say it, but when she left to go grab liquor, he basically started writing down on another sheet of paper, alcohol.
Drinks alcohol.
No, actually, every little bit counts towards a profile. Because like actual profiling.
Here's the situation, though. I don't think that's enough because she's already known as as a drunk. So I don't
Not
think
my character though. My character's been
He's been away for a while.
My character's been away for 5 years, and he's only been following you for a day.
Now, to be fair, you could roll to gather that information later that she's like a known alcoholic, because that's you would get a bonus because she's known for that. Like,
all right.
But that'd be if you're gathering information on her.
Oh no, my information gathering is based on speculation at this point.
Yeah,
I think I know
he's not going into full spy mode just yet.
I think I know who got MVP this round though. Looks over at fucking Aaron. Hello.
Yeah, that fucking our
You know what?
duel.
If you wanna give it to her, I don't have any problem.
Yeah, I vote
my
Aaron.
hand's up
Yeah.
in the air. Yes.
Aaron.
She gets MVP for that shit.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that because she really is trying to push herself.
She worked really hard. She might have get thrown out of her body, but to be fair, she just had some bad luck. She almost completely wiped the floor with his argument.
Oh yeah.
She had 7 out of 7 versus a person who had 2 out of 6.
I have to clarify that regardless of what you guys say, she just saved that witch's life.
Yeah, I know she did.
So technically, that's a victory for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think we all have that belief or that goal.
So there you go. You've done that. Indirectly, she's helped you. So, but you have to see how that plays
amazing
out.
On it.
Because it's not out. She's not out of the woods yet. Because essentially, what happens is if she doesn't admit something useful to them, they will kill her.
Oh yeah, I know. I got plans. Don't
but
worry.
what I mean is that regardless of the fact that she still, to me, was perfect. Like she got MVP for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She did amazing.
It took a lot. Yeah. It took a lot of. It was a very good
both
scene.
Skill,
I enjoyed myself.
It was both skill. It was both saying exactly what she did. Like we might have. Like
is Umbry still here?
I believe so. Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask
I
you
think
for your third belief here. I think if you can make that more specific. And I'm giving you a persona for the second one because you achieved it.
All right, that works.
I think she was just soaking in our compliments of her this scene. Just
I
glorious.
I needed to sort of make a point though that you would need to clarify that third one.
Oh, I want to learn more about Eloise's history.
Oh, her past. Okay. That's better. That's way better.
You and me both, Aaron.
Okay, so I will alter that on here. That's way better.
Misspelled Eloise. I'd fix that.
It's okay. It's not a big deal.
God, that was amazing, though.
But I'm giving you a persona for accomplishing your goal there because you did save her life, like I said.
Also, as a spectator of this Duel of Wits, I really like the system for it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
The whole you can use other skill. Like the entire time, I was thinking I was a little bit. I complained to Nova a little bit earlier about how I think I have too many skills.
I got the organization wrong at first because the problem was I'm supposed to decide and then you're supposed to. Because if you tell me, then I can counter it directly because I know all the things.
Oh, you guys are supposed to decide and then argue it out.
So we're supposed to decide and then argue it, but I think that the way we did it was okay for a first,
Yeah.
Like, even
speculation.
regardless, even with like your countering, she still won those bouts.
Yeah, the first time we did it, we didn't use the different types of actions. We just used versus rolls.
Yeah.
So this time I was using the full version.
Was that the one with attack and defense?
Yeah, where this one was just doing straight up attack and defense, but the full version is like you can feint, you can do more complex actions. So I was trying to use the full.
Yeah, the only sort of thing I would say is the argument kind of never changed between the two.
Yeah, and normally that would be easier if we had more of a. I was just trying to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understood.
So, can I make my new belief? I want to recover my body, so I don't get
that makes sense.
You don't need to necessarily roll to do that. It would just be you'd form a new body over time. I think is how it would work. Yeah. It's not like your body was actually destroyed. You were just forced. I guess it's one of these things where I'm trying to think how that would work. Maybe your body was destroyed. I'm not sure.
Basically, I would have to.
The body is like you, so the point is that you are now the spirit. So it's not like the body was destroyed; it just became its true self.
Yeah.
So your body didn't go.
True self.
Your body didn't go anywhere. Like your body is still you. Your body is you physically. The only thing was that you had a glamour essentially over yourself or something to that effect.
Transmutation effect.
If someone stabbed Aaron, then the spirit would just appear. It's not like it appears out of your body. So I guess saying it kind of comes out of your body is kind of inaccurate because it's more just you became that form and then were shunted out would be more accurate.
It kind of makes me think of the Ghostbusters scene where they basically punch the ghost out of Chris Hemsworth or Thor, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Nah, I could almost see it her body twists around and then shifts into that her actual form and then gets shunted out.
It's more
I can see that
because she's not shedding whatever body she had before. It's more like her physical form was basically evaporated and then shifted into her regular form.
Oh no, I was trying to say that's how I thought of it when the scene was first described to me.
Yeah, no. I did too, but that was because he said shunted.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but I realized that's not actually how it would work because they're the same thing. It's not like her body is separated.
I want to prove my value to the church despite it being revealed I'm a spirit.
That's better.
That works, yeah.
Try to,
and that works towards my goals.
Even though he literally said you can't be redeemed, you're damned already. But
look. I saw how Bartholomew acts in an argument. I got this dude in 5 seconds. Don't worry.
So I have a quick question. Do I have to do I still keep the saving of the? Actually, no. I can still save that because I still have to get her out of there.
Yeah, she's not out of there.
Yeah, she's not out of there. She's just
she's still in the shit, man.
Yeah, no, I gotta get her out of there.
Oh yeah, no, me and you have the same goal.
I can give you a fate point for.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's I know that I got it partially done, but I know that I'm not getting Persona for it yet. I need to get her busted out of there.
Yeah. Which I think our newfound friendship can work together towards that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
because I'm also pretty stealthy.
Let me give you an extra fate for that because you're right. You would probably get a fate for helping. I don't see it here though. Did you delete it?
Delete what?
Mine?
Because your belief doesn't say anything about. Oh, you mean your instinct?
Yeah, my instinct. Sorry.
Well, that didn't help. Because you never did anything to get in the way of that happening. You didn't.
Maybe next session. Definitely next session. Because I feel
come into play, but
I mean, the only thing I managed to do was
because
out of instinct, tell her to do it for me because I was basically being forced out.
But that didn't make any difference. Because I would agree with you if Aaron went out of her way to help.
but she went back to Bartholomew and confronted it that way.
I mean, she still put herself in danger because she was being questioned at that point. She went out of her way.
So you think that, okay, because I want to argue to Aaron this, do you think that Melanie was the reason that you were willing to, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, you know what, I get your point. You basically, it's a chain, because you told her we need to save her, and then now she's arguing on your behalf.
Yeah,
So-
Melanie is the reason.
So I will give you a fate for that, because your instinct is causing trouble in that way. Indirectly, very indirectly, but it's still there. I agree with that.
Okay.
It's a stretch, but it's a stretch I'm willing to make.
Roger.
I'm gonna check if there's any other art that I want to give out for tonight, and then I'll just and we can still talk. I'm just gonna end.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I gotta split as soon as we're done.
Oh,
Because
okay.
because my friend's been waiting me for like since we started this,
Then
and that's why I wanted to get back to
Then you can go ahead and go then.
All right, let me know if anything else comes up or if you have any other questions
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, sure.
All right, catch you all guys later. Had fun. Oh wait, no, that's now I remember. It was the other stuff that I have to stay here because of the other shit, the other
Yeah.
voting stuff.
Right. So let me get to
Because
that.
there's stuff like Mold Breaker and other stuff like that.
Yeah. Because that stuff is important. I did want to
Yeah.
look at.
That's why I can't leave because it's a voting process.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
enjoying learning this new system though.
It's really
Like it.
fun, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
this is like one of my favorite now.
I don't get all of the things yet. There's too many charts for me, and I'm not a good chart guy.
Well, for me, like I haven't needed to keep up with any sort of chart. For me, it just feels like
Okay.
I just have my
So-
character sheet, and that's it. That's
So
great.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you guys: is essentially, do you think that you guys went against something on your sheet that affected? Because I don't think you guys weren't in the conflict, so I don't know
Yeah.
if there's anything that you did. Like,
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I really
I'm
went
gonna look at
against
my
any
sheet.
of my.
I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I'm just looking on my sheet just in case.
But like, I want to look at Erin because I want to see if there's anything that she directly like did that goes against like what she would normally do, and in this case, I mean,
Did
I
you
don't
already
have
give
enough
me
of a character
Did you already give
established
me
to go
Artha
against
for
it.
my position?
What?
For advancing my position in the church in order to get
Yeah,
information.
I did.
Did you already
yeah.
give me? Okay, I
Yeah,
have
I
to
did.
get rid of that. Let me get rid of that now. Did you already add
Well,
that
you
onto
don't-
your
you don't
record?
get persona. You get a fate for that. You didn't complete it. You,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean.
because
Okay.
you weren't
Because
fully
I'm
promoted.
working towards it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't fully promoted. Remember?
Yeah, I see that now.
Sorry, I'll promote you as soon as I can.
Don't go easy on me. We have to.
Oh no, that's not going easy on you. That's using you as a tool. But
So-
that's,
okay,
that's
you
for
little,
my own
you
stuff.
little fucking.
So then here's my question. I think Believer. I'm gonna give you the mold breaker for that because it was the worst possible thing.
Yeah, she got mold breaker for that.
I'm
Is
willing
that
to.
bad?
No, that's good.
Okay.
That's a good thing. Mold breaker is a way that you get. It's like you act out against something, or I think it's something of yours acts out against you, right?
Because let me try and put this into perspective for Umbri. You basically went against your belief of the god to fight for Melanie and failed, and now you're being rejected by the church, and that's just really interesting to me. Because normally
You got shunned out.
because I have to clarify that normally you wouldn't be protecting a witch, but you're doing this for her, and now it's caused you all these problems, and you directly went against that, and you argued, for that sake, and you failed. Well, you succeeded, but in the context of the
you got caught in the crossfires.
in like meta context, you succeeded, but like in the context of like reality, you got screwed. So I'm
You
gonna
came
give
into
you
a worse situation.
I'm gonna give you mold breaker for that because to me it feels like it means enough that like you actually betrayed your belief betrayed you. You were willing to trust your God, and your God has now said you are against me. And I'm questioning whether you still want to, because you can choose to convert to Melanie's side completely and just be like, fuck this, let's worship dark gods. Hey, bathe me
Let's
in-
worship Satan.
Oh, Jesus.
Bathe me in darkness.
Hey, people misunderstand the fucking shadow god. He's not an evil god. I don't know why people say that shit.
Like, that's the Hokie religion my wife worships. I don't know anything about it. I let her mind her own
What I
business.
want to do is prove to the church that spirits and witches can be useful to recovering the sun.
And that's gonna be your goal. I understand, but like my point
Yeah,
is, you
it's
did
to be a long-term goal. I know.
you did mold break that sort of thing because you didn't need to believe in that in your
Not
God
only
at that moment.
break, body break.
But like I'm curious because like you still believe, you're still willing to follow the church even if they distrust you, which is beautiful because you're just like, hey, I don't care if God wants me out of here. I'm going to fight my way back in, and because I still believe that the Lightbringer is right. Because the thing is, you could easily just be like, no, screw that. I want to worship this shadow god, and whatever. But you haven't done that. You're actually fighting for what you feel is right, which is actually the church.
I feel the
believe
church
in
is right, and the church needs to be more accepting.
You still believe in the church.
You believe that the church has to change its ways.
Yeah.
But you don't you don't hate the church for what it is now. You just want it to change.
If that makes sense, but I'm willing to make an exception. But I think because it's the same.
Yeah, me and him both agree that she got mold breaker.
Because what I want to say is, it's the same reason why I gave her the mold breaker when she revealed her identity. It's the same kind of thing. Like it works against her in the word, and she's going against it in the worst way. Where she could have easily said, "No, I renounce my belief in this." Because here's my thing. The reason why it was an Ob 4 instead of an Ob 5 is because she didn't say, no, I renounce my belief in this. I won't let it happen. She's allowing this God to pass judgment on her, and she believes in him. When I say him, I mean it, but you know what I mean. I'm using pronouns that aren't correct. But
See, the church might condemn me, but that doesn't mean the God does.
No, but he asked for the demon to be expelled, and that is what happened. And you believe in the gods. You could have told me, no, I reject my belief in whatever. And if you had said, well, I would choose to,
and he would have failed.
Yeah, and he would have failed. But because you choose to still believe in the church and like your faith in them, that's what caused your failure.
Yeah, faith in a church. I don't want to betray the church or dismantle them.
Well,
I just want them to become more accommodating for the greater good.
The church, because to say the church is inaccurate, I mean the God itself, not the church, because the church has its own ways. Anyway, Workhorse. I don't know if I want to give Workhorse for this. I don't know if anyone really worked like. I mean, I know that Umbri did, but we already gave her MVP for that. So I think, yeah, that'll be. Unless anyone thinks that we had right skill, right time, but we didn't have a lot of that. It was mostly just.
The only thing that I even think like in terms that I did was help in terms of the scene in the bar, and then progress the scene in terms of like my promotion and stuff. But that's only what I did.
I'm trying to think if anyone made me laugh, because that'd be my last thing.
I don't think anybody did.
No.
We made you giggle. I don't think we ever made you laugh.
Yeah, but he has giggled in the past before, but I don't think anybody legitimately made him laugh.
There was lots of laughing before the session.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll end the thing, and then you can go, and then we can. So we.
Well, now that I think about it, the church is separate from the God.
Silver, you can definitely go.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Now that I think